The following digital content is produced by the CSUN Sports Network and presented by Dignity Health Northridge Hospital Medical Center. CSUN Matador Sports Properties and Learfield-IMG College would like to thank the following corporate partners: Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, Under Armour, Northridge Toyota, Buffalo Wild Wings, True Barbershop, Mid-Valley Dental Care, the Warner Center Marriott, AAA Flag and Banner, Meridian Point, the Airtel Plaza Hotel, the Sundial, and Sisto Sports Medicine.
Welcome, Icardo Center in the city of Bakersfield. CSUN basketball is on the air with you. Matadors pregame presented to you by Dignity Health Northridge Hospital Medical Center. I'm Ghazal Hassan, along with Alan Zinsmeister here. Second game in the two-game series between the two teams. Matadors take one on the chin a little bit yesterday, AZ. It was an uncharacteristically tough loss. The Matadors haven't had a lot of those this year. They did have two against UC Santa Barbara, but it's the bounce-back Saturday for CSUN.
It's the bounce-back Saturday, and last night, they're easy to forget. You know, when you get beat up the way the Matadors did, you kind of look at it and you say, all right, that's not really us. And tonight, let's see if the true Matador squad shows up and makes a fight of this game, because they're facing a very, very talented and tough Roadrunner squad.
Yeah, they were particularly focused. We mentioned it a couple of times last night, coming off those two losses against UC Santa Barbara, plus they were without one of their brothers, one of their starters, Sean Stith, who was a big part of this team. But both Ronnie Reedus and Ray Somerville kind of filled in, I thought, nicely for him yesterday.
The whole team filled in for Mr. Stith. I mean, what happened was Sean Stith, their starting center, talked to the team before the game and during the week, and he talked about family, he talked about brotherhood, he talked about carrying on when others aren't there, and the team took it to heart. It was a heartfelt talk from Mr. Stith. The team took it to heart. They came out and they played very, very hard for each other, for him, for the staff, and let's see, maybe they might have a slight letdown tonight because it was so emotional for them yesterday.
You know, Mark Gottfried made what I felt was a great point in the postgame, and it was I kind of let it slide because there were other things we wanted to talk about. He mentioned the fact that this team has a number of seniors. They have a couple of fifth-year guys, a couple of redshirt guys. Now, I think only four of them are actually four-year players. Tajay Moore is a four-year player. Justin Edler-Davis is a four-year player. McCall is a four-year player who all came with the team. The other players are all transfers or whatnot, junior college or Division I transfers. How important is that? Is that something really legitimate that you believe in, AZ?
Oh, my goodness, yes, Ghazal. It's so important. Look, as you get mature and as you start realizing the days of you playing college basketball are coming to an end, especially as each team is heading towards the tournament, you get focused, you get serious when you're older, even if you're a junior college transfer. But that time span now is really shortened, so you care far more about every opportunity to get better and to win. Winning becomes more important to you. We can think of a reason one player that is an excellent player for CSUN is not here. He had a lot of accolades, but winning became ultimately important to him as his career wound down. And that's what it is for this Roadrunner squad. They've got a lot of seniors. These guys don't want to lose knowing that a young team came in and beat them up.
What do the Matadors need to do differently today? What can the Matadors do? We've already talked about CSUB. They're very good at home. They're 9-1 at home. They've won 4 of their 5 series, I believe. They're 5-1 on Saturday here, and they've swept actually 2 of their 3 Big West series they played at home. What can the Matadors do to avert that fate?
They're just going to have to come out fast. I mean, at the beginning of the game, they're going to have to come out focused as if it's the last minute of the game and not the first minute. They've got to come out with the type of energy, the type of effort, the type of desire, and the determination to play hard right from the very, very start. They cannot allow themselves to say, oh, we're only down 6 or we're down 8. We have plenty of time. No, they have to come out right away with some sense of urgency.
You know, I've joked with you all year, and it's kind of a joke, but I kind of mean it. CSUB, the Bakersfield team, they're so glad to be in the Big West. They were in the Western Athletic Conference for many years, and it was a lot of strange road trips. They really seem to have been able to settle in and focus and get things going this season. They're first in the conference. They're 8-6 in the conference, 9-6 in the conference, looking to go 10-6, which would be a very successful first year for head coach Rod Barnes, a coach and a man I know that you respect tremendously.
And the reason why they care so much is their home. I mean, California is their home. And they were flying all across the country to play in that Western Athletic Conference. They said Western Athletic Conference, but they had teams from the Midwest in it, teams from, the Midwest, from the South. And so they're glad to be home. They're glad to stay local. I did a little bit of reading, and they talked about how many, the miles and travel that they did and compared to what they're doing now. It's just astronomical, the miles that they had to travel. So when you get a chance to play at home, play closer to your base, you just feel better. And now for them, it's almost like having a home game every week.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's also that they're not going to have to get on a plane. The other thing people don't remember is there is an airport in Bakersfield, but generally when they're taking longer trips, they got to go up to Fresno or they got to go down to Los Angeles, which is like a 2-hour drive. Now, as far as in conference, the only plane trip I believe they take is to Hawaii.
Right, and that's so important to them because, look, if they're on the bus for like 4 hours, to them that's like a half-hour ride for the travel that they've done. So their attention span is much longer. They understand that being home and getting a chance not to have to travel in a long time means more time that they can really concentrate on the game.
I want to shout out my old professor, Dr. Horace Mitchell, who is the president of CSU Bakersfield. He left Irvine in the late 90s and went up to Berkeley for a couple of years, and then off his position in Berkeley, he was interviewed for and gained the position of president of CSUB back in 2004. He helped the transition to the Division I level, and he also helped really to get this team into the Big West. That was his focus from the beginning when they started in Division I, and he was successful in that endeavor.
Well, that was a very, very wonderful thing that he did for this university, and he'll probably get a statue built when Bakersfield fans get a chance to travel to some away games.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be able to go back to Irvine a couple times a year, and he can do that now and eat at the restaurants, and he became used to when he was a vice chancellor at UC Irvine. Alan, let's get to what everybody's been waiting for here. Z's keys, the PhD of the hardwood, Dr. Z. Alan Zinsmeister. The keys to victory for the Matadors tonight are?
The second game of back-to-back, it's going to be the same pretty much all the time. The team that outworks, the team that out-hustles, and of course the team that outscores will be victorious. The Matadors must outwork, out-hustle, and ultimately outscore this Roadrunner squad.
What do you think? Is there a particular player that you're looking at today to provide that little boost for the Matadors?
I'm looking at, and I know you're going to probably think this is crazy, but I'm really looking at Brendan Herrick. They need Brendan Herrick to come in and knock down shots. He's their redshirt sophomore who's a calming influence. We call him the comforter. Well, he's got to give the Matadors some comfort. Come in, knock down some shots, help run the offense when he's in, because they need his outside shooting and his calm demeanor.
And I meant to ask you earlier, this is your first trip to Bakersfield in a few years. What's changed since you guys came here last in 2012?
There's not a whole lot that's changed. I looked around and I could remember sitting across the court when I called the game, over 10 years, well, almost 10 years ago now. And not a whole lot has changed, but Coach Barnes, who was here at the time, he has really got young men to buy into what he believes in. That's playing defense, playing hard, and playing for each other. And that has not changed at all.
I mean, he's gone to Arkansas, Virginia, Missouri, and Mississippi to bring players here. And it's almost like a little bit of Oklahoma dropped into the middle of California. It's very attractive to his recruiters.
It's very attractive. And the fact that I thought about this yesterday, Ghazal, that he could get kids from all across the country to buy in. Because usually when you're bringing a kid from another state, he thinks that he's coming to your state to save you. No, each kid comes here to play his role. They do a good job in their role. They all know that they're going to get a chance to play. 10 players play double-digit minutes, so you're going to get your opportunity. But you also have to be a part of their family.
Matadors and the Roadrunners set to get underway here at about 7 o'clock. I'm Ghazal, he's Alan. Matadors pregame presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center. As part of Matadors pregame from Dignity Health, Mark Godfrey joins us next on the Coaches Report, which is brought to you by Mid-Valley Dental Care. Mid-Valley Dental Care is the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. So it was a tough one for the Matadors yesterday. CSUB came out victorious by a score of 84-58. The Matadors looking for the bounce back here tonight at Icardo Center in Bakersfield. We'll come back with Coach Godfrey on the Coaches Report. This is Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
Welcome back to Matadors pregame time now for the Coaches Report, brought to you by Mid-Valley Dental. Mark Godfrey joins us on the report. Matadors, the nightcap of their two-game series at CSUB. Coach, we talked in the post-game yesterday. Didn't quite go how you wanted it to, but how do you regroup, particularly with this young group that you have today?
Well, I think anytime you're in this situation, you try to make the adjustments. We've talked to our players about some individual things. But we've got to have a little bit more poise. I think when you go home and watch the tape last night, it's about 23-17, I think at about the 10 or 11 minute mark. And then, the last half of the first half, we just, we started shooting quick shots, weren't very patient. Those bad shots led to fast breaks. And, they really just kind of opened it up. And we came back in the second half and played well, did some things well. So, we're going to try to do some of the similar things, but we got to make some adjustments. Our players have to make some adjustments to things we've talked about today. We've got to do a better job of finding Williams on the perimeter. We got to get back. And then, like we talked about, this is an old veteran kind of big, strong-looking group of guys, and we've got to be able to be ready to match that and play a little bit more physical than we did last night.
Yeah, I was going to joke with you, Coach, because you're an old SEC guy. I mean, I was watching the film yesterday after the game, and they didn't really do anything surprising. They didn't do anything, it's good, hard man-to-man defense. A bunch of guys who are between about 6'3" and 6'6" getting after you. It's kind of like just line them up and smash mouth football, the basketball version of it. Do you think that your guys were a little bit maybe unaccustomed to the physicality? Did the physicality bother them at all, do you think?
No, probably a little bit. The young guys, maybe the freshmen were, and I think they've seen it now, and so they ought to be much more prepared and ready to go tonight. But when you're 22, 23, and you're a little bit bigger and stronger, and we got some younger guys, on one hand, it's a great opportunity for us. On the other hand, they've got to step up quickly here and be able to get open offensively and move well without the basketball, to be firm with the basketball and not turn it over, and have poise and some patience and not get in a hurry and those type of things. And, it's a great learning experience. We just got to get learned real quick here and get ready to play for tonight.
Yeah, and I've noticed, and I'm sure you noticed the same thing, when you guys run your offense, Coach, no matter how good the other team is defensively, you're able to get your players shots. And yesterday, I think, part of it was the deficit and part of it was maybe the physicality. Kind of, when you guys did still run your offense, you were getting good shots and you seemed to break away from it. Was that, you think, frustration, or was that something more Bakersfield did to you guys?
Well, probably a little bit of both. I think in the second half when we had the 18-2 run, we did a lot of things really well, both ends of the floor. I thought, really in the latter part of the first half, what happens a lot of times when you shoot quick shots and, where one pass shots, hard, tough shots, they turned a lot of those into fast breaks. And, they're running out and they're getting to the rim, and we've got to have a little bit more poise offensively. I think that'll help our defense. If we can just settle down, move the ball a little bit better, get better shots, get our guys in position to rebound offensively. We took so many quick shots during that little stretch. We just kept getting hurried, and it just led to somewhat of an avalanche there at the end of the first half. So we've got to do a lot better job with that today.
The one positive thing also about you guys and also about Darius, I mean, when you guys have a game like that, very rarely do you have two of them in a row. Generally, the next game is much, much better. That's been the trend since you've been here 3 years ago. And then Darius, I looking up and down Darius's record, he rarely has two games where he kind of underachieves in a row. So I'd expect Darius to bounce back. I'm sure you do too.
Well, I think last night, starting at the beginning of the game, I think he had 2 turnovers. He stepped out of bounds. He really that was not like him at all. You know, he's a lot better basketball player. You know, he just had one of those games. You know, he's a human being. He's been so steady for us so many times and so often, but he didn't play very well, and that's okay. He'll bounce back here tonight. He's a great competitor, and he's really tough, and I'm sure he's not happy with how he played either.
I got the last thing for you. I know we touched on it yesterday, too. I said Coach Barnes is right in front of me right now. For you guys basically to have your basketball lives kind of intersect, 30-plus years after you started them, got to be gratifying on both ends for you to see his success and for him to kind of be coaching against you again in the Big West.
Well, we talked before the game. I'm really happy for him. We go all the way back now to when we played in college, and he's found a really nice home here and done a really good job with this program. So, although we're competitors, we do have friends in this business, and he's one of those guys. I've always had a lot of respect for him, and hopefully we'll give him a whole lot better game than we did last night. But he's just a great guy and a great coach.
Well, here's hoping you get some bragging rights tonight, Coach. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
All right, this is Mark Gottfried. We'll come back with the opening tip after this. And we're going to be literal because the time that with the TV, they kind of changed the time around on us, and we're back with the opening tip. Andy Cohen about to throw it up between Fidelis Okereke and Ronnie Reedus, and we'll get underway here at Icardo Center. The tip controlled by Bakersfield. Starting lineups and opening tip brought to you by Northridge Toyota for the Matadors. One change in the starting lineup. Amon Anderson gets the start. So Anderson, Brown, Starks, the three-guard rotation. Merk-Faladze inside along with Fidelis Okereke. The runner by Czar Perry is missed and put back up and in by Roddy Reedus.
But the Matadors are in man-to-man defense, though, Gasol, and getting all the way to the rim, the Roadrunners.
2-0 in favor of CSUB. Driving and attacking is Starks, denied at the rim. Offensive rebound by Okereke. He puts it up with the right hand that dances around the rim and drops through.
And Starks is hurt. Starks got hit. Starks is hurt.
Right wing three goes down for CSUB. And we're going to get a break here. That was Edler Davis with the three to make it 5-2. TJ talking with Steve Greck, who's the athletic trainer. I didn't mention the Matadors coaching staff, Mark Gottfried, Jim Herrick, Jeff Dunlap, Director of Basketball Operations, John Van Houten, Graduate Assistant Tyson Kygar, Lead Student Manager Devontae Morris, and then Steve Greck is Director of Sports Medicine. Now, normally when the athletic trainer has to come on the floor, the player has to come off. He's kind of shaking his head. Looks like he got an elbow to the temple.
Yeah, he actually was fouled on his layup attempt. And I don't know how the officials missed that because there was a whole lot of contact, but they didn't call it, so he was hurt, or at least now I would say that he's hurting a little bit.
So Atten Wright checks in, the 6-foot freshman from Lakewood, but he prepped at Fairmont Prep in Anaheim, and we're back underway. Left to right comes Darius Brown. Matadors trailing 5-2. DB2 straight away. High post left side. Back cut by Atten Wright. Through two defenders. No to the basket, but a foul call.
Now that time I thought that there was verticality, and I didn't think that was a foul. That's the exact same play that they ran to Mr. TJ Starks, and he got hit as he went up to score. So this time the officials, maybe because they missed the last call, decided if there was going to be a little bit of contact, the Matadors were going to get the call.
So I thought it was a shooting foul, but instead they're going to call it on the floor. So maybe it was before he actually left the ground.
Okay. I thought for sure he was going for a layup.
McCall leaves the floor. Graylin Easter checks in, and TJ Starks is back for Atten Wright. Matadors basketball, they trail 5-2. Right wing Amon Anderson, left-handed three, drops down.
Well, the Matadors have tied this ball game up by just running their offense. That's all they're doing, just running their offense.
Left wing Easter for CSUB. Left baseline Reedus, squared up by Okereke. Left corner Perry, reverse left wing. Here's three, and it goes down.
Well, I saw that in warm-up. I mean, they were hitting their three-point shots, and the Matadors man-to-man or zone giving up open looks.
Sean Williams had a big game yesterday against the Matadors. He strokes the tray to make it 8-5. CSUB in front by three, down on the right baseline. Merk-Faladze, we're moving to his left into the lane. Little left-handed hook is good.
I love the fact that the Matadors are just running their offense. Now they just have to get some stops.
8-7, CSUB leads CSUN. We've played about 2 minutes. On the floor for CSUB, Czar Perry, DeMonte Buckingham, Justin Edler Davis, Ronnie Reedus, and Graylin Easter. Front court left, This is Perry to his right on the dribble. Nice hedge there by Merck-Paladze. Flashing top of the circle, Edler Davis. He'll drop it into the low post. The hook shot by Ritas, no. Over the back, tipped away from Merck-Paladze, but he recovers it, and the Matadors have it left to right. Pass to the left wing. Amon Anderson, catch and shoot three. Skips off the flat of the back iron. Defensive rebound to CSUB. Runners living up to their name. Moving the ball around. Right corner three from Easter. Yes!
This is a team that's not a great three-point shooting team, but for whatever reason, when they play the Matadors, they're making them.
Looking at the numbers, though, they're a better offensive team than they get credit for statistically. 10 games of 50% plus shooting, 8 of those coming against Division I opposition. In front, this is Starks for CSUN. Matadors down 4, 11-7. Dribbling to the right wing is TJ. The ball knocked away from him, stays with the Matadors.
Well, yesterday's ball game started the same in regards to shooting percentage. It's just that the Matadors were turning the ball over. So they're trailing by 4 because of good three-point shooting by the Runners.
Allen's favorite player, Cameron Bino Smith, checks in. Going to the basket is Starks. The ball tipped away out of bounds. It'll go over to CSUB. Smith is a 6'7 junior from Okalona, Mississippi, transfer from Pearl River City College. His hometown is 3,000 people. It's about 2 hours south of Memphis, 3 hours west of Atlanta.
Well, I bet they're watching on ESPN3.
CSUB 11, CSUN 7. It's CSUB basketball. Angle left on the near side. Czar Perry dribbles to the top of the circle. Swings left corner. Easter closed out by Brown for CSUN. CSUB basketball. Ritas with a quick touch between the rings to the right side. Williams dropping it off to Ritas, off his knee out of bounds, over to CSUN.
Yeah, the man-to-man defense that time created that turnover. Good defense by the Matadors.
Now, we're a little removed from courtside here, folks, so yesterday was a little bit tough because it was white numerals on white uniforms, and it's not much better today. I was hoping they wear their blues, AZ. Gold uniforms and white numerals, right corner. This is Anderson for CSUN underneath. Quick double pump by Brown. Can't finish but draws the foul.
Yeah, Brown had a nice head fake to get all the defenders up in the air, and then when they came down, they landed on him as he was going back up again.
16:37 to play first half. The foul on Bino Smith, his first. Second foul on the Runners, and it's 11-7 in favor of CSUB. And here's Darius to the free throw line where he shoots very well. Nearly 80% on the year, and that one, of course, rims outs.
Yeah, he's actually not shot well from the free throw line the last couple of games, so I think it's more concentration than anything else.
I think he's coming into the game, he was one of his last 4, and he splits the pair there to make it 11-8 in favor of CSUB. Runners with the lead and the ball. Czar Perry off to Sean Williams, quick touch, and now Easter on the right wing. Flashing to the top of the circle, Perry rotates it to the left side for Williams. Williams out high for Ritas, swings it to the right angle. That's Czar Perry. Perry underneath to the left corner for Smith. Smith with a fake, lobs it underneath for Ritas. Nearly dispossessed, now he is dispossessed, and Amon Anderson away with it for CSUN. Punched away from behind, he tapped it to himself, and that's a travel.
Yeah, that time he had the ball and wanted to pass it, and just lost control.
I mean, you got to do the jump. You got to either do the you can do the 1-2 stop to get away with that, or you can do the jump stop and just corral the ball.
Yeah.
And but to give credit to Amon, he's trying to make something happen.
He was trying to make something happen. He was going so fast, and the ball just got away from him.
Substitution. So Buckingham back for CSUB, the 6'4" redshirt senior from Richmond. He had a good game yesterday as well. Sean Williams sits down for the Runners. And we'll also get our first look at Tajay Moore. Moore is a senior from South Haven, Mississippi. Front court left, here's Buckingham. Playing catch with Perry to the right side. Here's Moore into the lane, spins on the right side of the lane, kicks to the right wing. Perry, extra pass underneath for Easter. Nice head fake, lays it up and in.
That was a nice shot because he looked like that shot was going to get blocked by Mr. Okereke.
13-8. All the way down underneath is Starks and a whistle and a foul on the floor. Our officiating crew tonight, Rick Batzel, Kurt Walker, and Andy Cohn, and we'll get a break in the action. 13 for CSUB, 8 for CSUN, 15:41 to play in the first half. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
In favor of CSUB, 15:41 to play in the first half. Matadors looking to avoid the sweep. They've only been swept once this year. That was by UC Santa Barbara at home back in January. CSUB, for their part, has played 3 Big West Conference series in this building. They've swept 2 of them. They got a split against Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, Cal State Fullerton came in and won the first game and surprised the runners. But tonight, the runners coming out with the right kind of energy and effort, especially in the offensive end, making 71.4% of their shots, 5 for 7. The Matadors shooting 50%, 3 of 6, 1 of 2 from behind the three-point line. But the runners are shooting perfect, 3 for 3 from behind the three-point line. So, look, they're open shots, but still, they have to make them, and they are.
That's the difference. Yesterday in the first half, CSUB was 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. They ended up 9 of 25 for the game. Anderson to trigger. Starting 5 still out there for CSUN. Anderson, Brown, Starks, Merkvaladze, Okereke. Anderson to trigger from under the baseline. Bounce pass to a cutting Merkvaladze. In the high post, he'll reset with Brown between the rings for CSUN. Matadors down 5, 13-8. DB2 terminates his dribble, right wing Merkvaladze. Merkvaladze turns to the hoop, pump fake, nice little up and under against Reedus, drops it in off the window.
I don't know if that was against Reedus. I think that was against, I can't read his number, but it wasn't Reedus. Reedus is
that was
bigger.
Bino, that was your buddy,
Yeah.
Bino Smith. This is Buckingham, left wing for Easter. Baseline, this is Bino Smith working against Okereke. Around the perimeter it goes for CSUB. In the right corner, this is Tajay Moore. Dancing and down along the baseline, shut off by Merkvaladze. 7 to shoot. Left corner, here's 3 from Easter. Off the court, cross-court pass. Braylon Easter buries it.
4 for 4. They are perfect from behind the arc. I mean, Matadors just can't catch a break.
CSUB 16, CSUN 10. Right wing. Brown drops it to the baseline for Merkvaladze. Looks like he has an advantage. Kicks it back to the left wing for Amon Anderson. Anderson's three-pointer misfires. Defensive rebound comes down to CSUB. Racing middle of the floor. Moore has the ball now front court on the left side. That was Edler Davis with the rebound. So Moore on the right sideline about 30 feet from the bucket, waiting for the screen. Here it comes. Bino Smith with the screen all the way down the left side. Nice block by Okereke, but he double taps it and gives it back to CSUB. I think he was trying to save the ball.
Yeah, I tell you what, Fidelis Okereke is really getting solid on the defensive end, walling up, doing a good job not fouling.
And he's been one of the leaders for the Matadors in block shots. Came in 0.9 block shots per game, at least in Big West games. The inbound attempt, they get it out top of the circle. And Easter now front court left for CSUB. 6 to shoot on the clock, taken away from him by Okereke. Ahead to Brown, he's got Anderson with him. He'll pull up the right wing for 3 and drops it.
How about that? He wasn't aggressive yesterday, in my opinion. At that time, he took a transition 3. I always think those are the easiest shots to take.
CSUB 16, CSUN 13. 5 straight points for CSUN. Front court left, here's Tajay Moore. Working against Starks, couple of alpha dogs battling. He'll back off near midcourt, Will Moore for CSUB. High screen from Smith, using it go to his left. Moore shut off by Okereke. Top of the circle, Edler Davis. This is Buckingham, left of the arc. Left wing attacking on the dribble is Tajay Moore, and wow, what a take.
Yeah, that was just a tough shot. I mean, great defense and just a better shot.
Hard dribble just inside the three-point arc, pulled up from about 16. Right corner three for Darius Brown, no, but fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line for 3 free throws. So 18-13, the Matadors trail by 5. Little bit too aggressive there by Justin Edler-Davis. He kind of dove at the shooter.
Exactly, and so now this is a chance for Brown to get well at the free throw line, to knock down 3 free throws. He needs to step up and make his free throws. He's been struggling from the line, as we mentioned, but he's normally an excellent free throw shooter.
Yeah, 1 of 2 earlier today, and then he was 1 of his last 4 coming in, and the first one goes through nothing but net. Darius didn't have a great game yesterday. Came into the week number 1 in the country in assist to turnover ratio, but that'll switch. But he's had a really good career here at CSUN, Allen. Second free throw switch as well. Among active Big West players, Allen, he's first in both assists and steals. Came into the weekend 4th in points and 6th in rebounds. So he's the top 10 in 4 categories among active players as Okereke sits down.
He's just an excellent player, smart player, and he's going to get it done for the Matadors.
And he makes all 3 free throws, so it's an 18-16 game as we near 13 minutes to play in the first half. Right to left come the runners. Here's Sean Williams off on the right wing to Tajay Moore down the left side of the lane. Moore, every time Moore gets the ball now, AZ, he's just going right to the iron.
Yeah, and he's a left-hander, so you have to take away his dominant hand. They allowed him to get to his left.
CSUB 20, CSUN 16. In front, this is Brown. Right wing starts for CSUN. Darius gets the handoff from Starks. Now right corner, here's Merck Veladze, launches the 3. Skips off the left side of the rim. The defensive rebound pulled down by Buckingham. Buckingham up the right side for CSUB. They lead by 4. Williams, left wing, drops it down inside to Reedus. Kicks it back out left wing and right back inside from Moore. Reedus trying to step through and rolls around the back iron and drops through.
He just got a little too low in the post, and that time he's able to score.
While Darius shot the free throws, there were 2 substitutions for the Matadors. Atten Wright returned, the 6'1 freshman from Lakewood, along with Festus Andamania, the sophomore from Anambra, Nigeria. Top of the circle, 3 from Merck Veladze off the pass from Starks. Hits bottom.
He missed the last 3-pointer that I thought he should make. That time he didn't hesitate, knocked it down.
22-19, CSUB with the ball. Breakneck pace here. Underneath, strong to the basket. No, that was Edler-Davis, but a foul. Not sure if they got Alex or Festus.
I would think that would be Festus. Matadors, though, are still giving up drives to the basket far too easily. They're going to have to do a good job of leveling their man off so that he doesn't have a direct line to the basket.
Andy Cohn does indeed indicate the foul is on Festus Andamania, and Justin Edler-Davis steps to the free throw line. The first foul on the Matadors, the first on Andamania. Edler-Davis, 81% free throw shooter on the season coming into the series, right-handed shooter. 4-year player here, and he misses it short off the front rim. Captain of the Roadrunners, his 120th career game. We mentioned yesterday that he passed Stephon Carter for 7th on the all-time games list. Didn't have a great game, so he kind of wants to get that going again. Starks goes to the bench for the Matadors. Amon Anderson back for CSUN. Second free throw for Edler-Davis, and that settles in. 23-19 lead up to 4 for CSUB. Left to right comes Darius Brown the second. Lobs it back door for Andamania, who thunders it down.
And that's a set play, and the Matadors set it up nicely, and that time Festus caught it. He's been having trouble catching that pass.
23-21, CSUB by 2. Handling in front is Sean Williams using the high screen. Good hedge there by Festus into the lane. And on top of the circle, Edler-Davis swings it to the left wing for Czar Perry. Left corner, here's 3 from Edler-Davis. Dances around the back iron, comes down to Ronnie Reedus. CSUB with the second chance opportunity. Edler-Davis left side. 1 dribble, front court left now. Backing off on the dribble is Czar Perry near midcourt. 23-21, CSUB with the lead and the ball. Here's Perry attacking to his left. Left corner, Edler-Davis dispossessed by Brown. Goes up and gets it. This is a 2-pointer. Skips off the back iron. Reedus, though, keeps it alive for CSUB. Second offensive rebound, AC, in this sequence. Angle right on the far side. Now moving around to the left side. Defended and knocked away by Brown. Brown saves it in and saves it right to Ronnie Reedus for CSUB. Right corner, here's 3 for Edler-Davis. Skips over the rim. Defensive rebound, Amon Anderson for CSUN.
Now the Matadors gave up 3 second chance opportunities, but no score.
23-21, CSUB by 2. Left wing 3, Merck Veladze, and that splashes down. Matadors have the lead.
Well, if he's going to make that shot, the Matadors are going to be in good shape. He didn't hesitate. Keep taking it, young man.
Justin McCall back in, the senior out of Bakersfield for CSUB with a quick touch. And now here's Williams on the right side. Williams working against Darius Brown and a whistle underneath. Ritas tangling with Festus Andamania, and we'll get a break. 10:27 to play in the first half. The Matadors with a lead here, 24-23. Back with more CSUN basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where they have 64 service bays to fix any problem.
Northridge Toyota, your neighborhood Toyota dealership.
Northridge Toyota is located at 19550 Nordoff and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics. Hey Matadors, the Sundial is here to keep you connected to all things CSUN. As the student-run campus news outlet, we aim to be the voice of you, the CSUN community. The Sundial publishes fresh content online daily and timeless, community-focused stories in print every Wednesday. Check us out on the web at dailysundial.com or follow us on Twitter at Daily Sundial and on Instagram at The Sundial.
Back at Icardo Center, the Matadors, hoping the weekend gets a little bit better for them. Want to remind you, game day sponsor today, our good friends at the LA Daily News. They've been covering the Matadors for a long time, providing great local coverage. Remember back in the day, AZ, they used to team up a Daily News reporter with you. I know you had an opportunity to work with both Jill Painter-Lopez, you used Jill Painter back then, and Ramona Shelburne.
Yeah, that was some fun time. And the Matadors probably feeling kind of nice. This is the first time they've had a lead in a game and a quarter, practically.
So Wright, Merkvaladze, Starks, Anderson on the floor, along with Fidelis Okereke for CSUN. Perry, McCall, Williams on the floor with Edler Davis and Ritas for CSUB. Inbound into the right corner, here's three. Yes!
That was an excellent out-of-bounds play. It was a double screen that caused Anderson to get behind the screen.
And that was Tajay Moore with the tray out of the right corner, the far corner for CSUB. The runners back in the lead, 26-24. Starks in front, running the point with Darius Brown on the bench. High post left side, Merkvaladze. Merkvaladze to his right on the dribble. Kicks to the right corner for Atten Wright. Nice closeout there. Right baseline. They drop it to Okereke. Okereke dribble to his left. Switches hands, lays it up and in.
How about that? The young fella actually did a really good job of settling himself to get that shot off.
26-26, and now looks like CSUB a little bit nervous. They turn it over out high.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Czar Perry thought that Tajay Moore was going to be in one spot that he wasn't.
So Moore, Williams, Perry on the floor with McCall and Ritas for CSUB. Here's Starks. We're tied at 26. Under 10 minutes to play first half. Okereke in front. Little juke move. Right side Anderson. Right baseline Merkvaladze for CSUN. Alex double team quickly. Now this time he spins around. The hook shot is good. How about a little Kareem action there from Alex Merkvaladze, as John Malkovic, as KGB says in Rounders, pay that man his money.
Well, you know, he went over his left shoulder, and I believe that's the first time I've ever seen him do that along the baseline and scored the hook shot. And that was just a beautiful shot that he took with confidence. So he hit a couple of threes, and I think he feels confident in the offensive end right now. 12
points for Merkvaladze. He's been hot today. There's the free throw, and that bangs off the back iron, so he misses the and one, but does give the Matadors a 28-26 lead. Here's Williams near midcourt for CSUB. Swings to the right side, quick touch for Czar Perry. Now left wing, this is McCall for the runners. Back to Perry in front. Perry, on the left side. Williams in front now on the dribble to the right side. Reverses it, top of the circle for Perry. Right wing Williams for three over Atten Wright. Bangs off the back iron. Long rebound comes out to Amon Anderson for CSUN.
That might be their first miss of a three-pointer.
28-26, CSUN by 2 with the ball. Under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Angle left on the far side, Anderson. Bounce pass left corner for TJ Starks. Starks on the wing. Here comes the screen from Okereke. Good double. Back to Fidelis. Kicks to the right wing. Touch pass. Right of center three from Atten Wright. Bounces off the front of the rim. Defensive rebound claimed by Sean Williams. Quick pass ahead to McCall for CSUB. Stepping in and drawing the charge, Amon Anderson. Is there anything the young man can't do, AZ?
I tell you what, he's showing why the coaching staff had confidence to start him. And Atten Wright has not hit a three-pointer, but I love the fact that he's not hesitating. Those three-pointers are going to start falling for Atten. They haven't in the last couple of games, but he's not hesitating. He's letting that shot go.
Merk Veladze will take a break, and Brendan Herrick checks in, the 6'5 sophomore from Anaheim. 28-26, CSUN by 2. Very different complexion to this game than we saw last night, Alan.
Yeah, the Matadors are competing on both ends of the floor, and it helps when you make shots.
Starks in front, angled to the left side. Bounce pass in front to Herrick. Herrick collects it. What aggressive defense, though, by CSUB. High post left side, Okereke throws it away. Turnover. Tajon Wright almost throws it away too, but run down on the right side by Perry. Back in the right corner to Moore. Left of center, this is Williams. Flashing at the free throw line, extra pass underneath for Reedus. Nice move by Reedus, he can't finish, and he's fouled.
Yeah, Herrick fouled him that time. A nice pass, and Reedus, actually, I thought he was going to make that shot, so it was a smart thing that Brendan Herrick fouled him.
28-26, the first on Brendan, the third on the Matadors, with 8:06 to play, and Reedus goes to the free throw line. Reedus very familiar with the Matadors. He was a teammate of Lance Coleman in 2019 when the Fullerton Hornets won a state championship. Right-handed free throw, and the first one is nothing but net. Reedus, not a great free throw shooter. Limited sample, was just 8 of 22 this year, as Darius Brown checks back in for CSUN. Reedus, who is pressed into duty with the injury to Sean Stith, 4.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 16.6 minutes per game. And then in 2018 AZ, as he makes the second free throw, his first year at Fullerton, he played with an old friend of ours as well, Jason Richardson.
Well, you know, he's played with some quality guys, that's for sure.
28 apiece after 2 free throws by Ronnie Reedus. Brown back up in for CSUN. Brown, Starks on the floor with Anderson, Okereke, and Herrick. Here's Starks on the baseline. Right baseline, 16-footer pull-up is good.
That's a nice shot, and that time the Matadors just running their offense and allowing Starks to do what he does best, go one-on-one.
CSUN 30, CSUB 28. Ball's on the right side. Quick touch for Perry, off to Tajay Moore. Baseline, Buckingham. Quick touch into the right corner. Here's 3 for Williams, in and out, no. Offensive rebound claim by Tajay Moore, and now Perry will back off on the dribble. Another second chance opportunity for CSUB. Left wing Moore. Moore to the basket. Met by Okereke. What a strong finish by Tajay Moore.
If he's able to get to his left hand, he's very, very confident in his scoring ability.
I mean, Okereke got up high, but Moore stayed in the air and was able to fight through and bank it in, 30 apiece. Okereke left baseline off the pass from Brown, dribbles it off his foot, regains it just below the free throw line, spins to the bucket, won't get the basket, but will get fouled on the floor, and will go to a break. 30 apiece, CSUB and CSUN, 7 minutes to play in the first half. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Smell that? It's playoff season. You know how you can tell? Because the playoffs are on. East will meet West, sevens will be bested, and banners will be lifted. So get in your car, your boat, or your train and get to B-Dubs. To celebrate this special time of the year, curl up with some wings, warm up by the TV with your closest savages, and order a frosty beer just like Mom used to pour. Merry playoffs, everyone. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
Al Huss and Alan Zinsmeister wrapping up our weekend in Bakersfield. 30 apiece, CSUB and CSUN. 7 minutes straight up remaining in the second half. You like what you see?
I like what I see. I mean, both teams are shooting the heck out of the ball. The Matadors shooting 64.7%, 11 for 17. 11 for 18 are the Road Runners, 61.1%. 5 for 10 from behind the three-point line for the Road Runners, 4 of 8 for the Matadors, both shooting 50%. So Matadors, Road Runners knocking down threes, scoring at will. Not a whole lot of great defense, but it's fun to call and watch.
Yeah, between the two of them, Tajay Moore and Graylin Easter are 7 of 7 from the floor for CSUB. The Alpha Dogs for the Matadors are the two young guys. Fidelis Okereke is 2 for 2 from the floor. Alex Merkvaladze 5 from 6. This is the best we've seen out of Alex in terms of his offensive output.
Alex was 3 of 10 yesterday, and that hurt the Matadors. But today, he's not hesitating on his shot. He's knocking them down. And, you know, shooters have to continue to shoot. Just like I talked about Adden Wright. His shot's not falling right now, but a shooter has to continue to shoot. And Merkvaladze is a pretty good three-point shooter.
Darius Brown, TJ Starks on the floor for CSUN, along with Amon Anderson, Brendan Herrick, and Fidelis Okereke. And Okereke to the free throw line. Fidelis stepped to the line yesterday and made 1 of 2. Right-handed shooter. Makes the first one.
Yeah, so 1 and 1, so it was so important for him to make it because the Matadors only shooting 60, well, they're shooting 71% now, 5 for 7, but before they was 66%. They were 4 for 6.
Limited sample, though. He's 4 of 5 from the free throw line in Big West play. Make it 5 of 6. That goes through Swish. Okereke makes them both, and it's a 32-30 CSUN lead. Back the other way, CSUB. Here's Tajay Moore. Angle right, this is Buckingham. Between the circles, Czar Perry. High post, Buckingham pulls up. Dances on left side of the rim. Taken down by Reedus. Back out to Williams, who puts it up. Wow, that's a nice move midair.
The second chance points hurting the Matadors. They just have to do a better job with defensive rebounding.
32-32. Second chance points now in favor of CSUB, 6-2. So a +4 for the runners in terms of second chance points. High post left side, Herrick. Turns and faces. Has it poked away and a foul.
Well, I talked about Herrick being important in this game because he's the comforter, but he's struggling right now. It was a smart foul, very smart foul. Otherwise, it was going to be an easy layup. But he had a chance to have an easy 15-footer and put the ball right in the face of a defender.
So Brendan Herrick picks up the foul.
I think they're going to look to see if that was like an intentional foul. But, I mean, I don't know that you can call that because they were standing right together.
Second foul on Brendan, 4th on the Matadors, already 7 for the runners. 6:20 to play in the first half, 32 apiece. Matadors and the runners in game 2 of this series. The Matadors this year are 3-2 on Saturday. Now keep in mind that includes a win on Saturday on a Saturday-Sunday series against Cal State Fullerton after the Long Beach series was canceled due to COVID. CSUB 5-1 on Saturday, so to beat them on Saturday would be a tough one. The only team that's beat them on Saturday is UC Santa Barbara, and Santa Barbara leads the league.
Well, Santa Barbara leads the league, and I just think it's tough to beat the runners here in their facility. And, you know, they're such a good defensive team. They play so hard, and the fact that they're making shots at the clip that they are, and you kind of let me know that even though their stats say that they're not supposed to be a great shooting team, that they have had moments where they've done a good job putting the ball in the hole.
I mean, they've played 24 games, and in 10 of those games, they've shot 50% or more. Now, 2 of those games were against non-Division I competition, but overall, 6 games against D1, they've shot over 50%, and then 2 games, both on the road, at Hawaii and at UC Santa Barbara, they've shot right at 50%.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job tonight.
So they're better. I mean, when they need to be, I mean, you covered a game where they scored, 8 or 9 points?
Yes, and they're shooting 60% right now, so Matadors, though, have to get defensive rebounds. The second chance points hurting them.
32 apiece. It's CSUB basketball as we near 6 minutes to play in the first half. Buckingham, now left side, this is Tajay Moore. Czar Perry cycles it to the right side. Buckingham into the corner for Williams. Around the perimeter it goes. Faking the 3 is Moore. Rifle pass out top of the circle. 10 to shoot for CSUB. The Williams, right corner to Buckingham. Skips over the rim. Defensive rebound. Nice job by Okereke to shield Reedus.
Yeah, he did a great job shielding that time and was able to hold on to that ball.
Didn't get it cleanly, was able to kind of keep it in front of him. Reminded me of a shortstop making a play. Left wing 3 from Merkvaladze, and the young fella's on fire.
Yeah, he's spotting up and hitting the three-point shot, and I think they're going to have to start guarding Merkvaladze.
He looks as comfortable as I've seen him for the Matadors. 35-32. CSUN by 3 as we near 5 minutes to play in the first half. Left wing Williams on the dribble into the corner, 19-footer, spins down through the orange.
Yeah, that's just a nice shot, a nice head fake, and then was able to blow by his man once he got him up in the air.
35-34, CSUN by 1, Matadors basketball. Starks in front. Starks at the top of the circles, crosses over down the left side of the lane. The pump fake won't get the bucket, but a foul.
And once again, if you allow a left-hander to get to his dominant hand side, and that was Starks that time, got to his left and had to be fouled.
Starks to the free throw line for 2, one of the better free throw shooters in the conference, 80% on the year, comes in averaging just over 21 points a game. In conference play, almost 24 points a game, 7 points more than the next player.
But I like tonight that the Matadors have a lead without him having to do a whole lot of shot taking.
First free throw from TJ, nestles down through the webbing. Easter back, replacing Buckingham leaves the floor. Second free throw coming for TJ. TJ by far leads the league in 20-point games, and he drains that one. Matadors up 37-34, and a couple of those, he's had, I think, a 19 and 2 18s. So he's been close a bunch of times.
He can score it. They just need him to score it in the floor of the offense, and everybody else gets a look too.
Right side, this is Perry. Off to Easter. Back to Perry, right angle. Perry dribbles to the top of the circle. Swings it to the right wing for Graylin Easter. Easter one dribble, they reset. Here's Reedus with a quick touch. Left of center, Williams to his right on the dribble. 4 to shoot for CSUB. Here's the deep 3 and it goes.
Yeah, that time the Matadors backed off of him. They made a mistake. They went with the cutter and backed off of him, and he just hit an easy shot.
37-37. Long distance dialing for Sean Williams. Starks dancing top of the circle. Starks to the baseline, pump fake to a cutting Anderson. Anderson double clutch. Nice pretty move midair off the window, and yes.
And I love the pass.
You like any pass, though. Here's Tajay Moore.
A pass that leads to the basket, most definitely I do.
You're old school that way. Back near midcourt is Sean Williams. Matadors 39, Runners 37 as we near 4 minutes to play in the first half. Right corner, this is Tajay Moore working against Starks. Moore steps back, 15-footer, misfires to the right. Defensive rebound comes down to Amon Anderson for CSUN. Left to right comes Starks. Starks on the floor with Brown, Anderson, Okereke, and Merkvaladze trying the reverse layup left to right, can't finish. Back the other way, CSUB, they're down 2, 39-37. Swing to the right side. Williams, skip pass, right wing. That left wing, down that left baseline, it goes to Tajay Moore. Moore posting up Stark, to his right, to his left. What a move.
Yeah, he's just a little too tall at 6'5", going up against 6'2".
39 apiece as we near 3 minutes to play in the first half. Brown traverses into the forecourt, straight away about 38 feet out. Lobs it back door, trying to catch it Okereke, but over his head out of bounds, and we'll get a break. 3:08 to play in the first half. CSUB and CSUN are knotted at 39. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
CSUN Matadors Athletics would like to thank Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute for their continued support. The LA Orthopedic Institute is one of California's most respected sports medicine practices with a philosophy rooted in faster rehabilitation and recovery. The LA Orthopedic Institute has offices in Sherman Oaks and Palmdale. For more information, go to laortho.org.
Jack Benny would love. 39-39, CSUB against CSUN. 3:08 to play. You ain't getting that on ESPN3, any of their play-by-play guys.
I tell you what, and for those in the audience who knows what he's talking about, shame on all us old folks.
Matadors in CSUB knotted up. And I think last night the Matadors got a little shell shock early in the game when the runners ran out against him. I think CSUB kind of seeing what the Matadors can do here. Every time they try to make a run, the Matadors bounce right back.
Right. Both teams shooting wonderfully, 65% for the Matadors, 60% for the runners. For the Matadors, are giving up second chance points, 6-2. So that's where the Matadors are getting hurt, just giving up those second chance points.
Alex Merkvaladze, the hot hand so far for CSUN. He's 6 of 7 from the floor, 15 points. His career high is 20, but keep in mind that was against Westmont, a non-Division I team. He's got 15 AZ against a pretty darn good defensive team.
And the Matadors are in a 1-2-2. Something that they rarely do is show a kind of like a zone pressure in the backcourt.
39 apiece. This is Czar Perry on the right sideline, looking back towards Coach Barnes. Maybe they're a little confused here on the defensive side. Angle right, far side Perry, waiting for the screen. Edler Davis back in, reverses to the left side. Left corner, Sean Williams for CSUB. 8 to shoot for the runners. Right side, this is Easter will launch the three. Back iron too strong. Okereke had two hands on it, tried to get knocked away, but now here's Starks. Left to right for CSUN, he'll slow it up. Underneath, Okereke with the pass from Darius Brown. He was too far underneath the basket, so he lost the ball off the underside of the backboard. Before he did, though, he was fouled.
I love the fact that Darius found him. Darius threw him a lob pass, and Okereke mistimed his jump. But once again, Darius found the second, loving his young freshman, gave him a second opportunity.
So Fidelis with 6 points in 15 minutes. Here's the free throw, and short off the front rim. He made 2 his last time to the free throw line. That was a 1-and-1. This is not. This is a 2-shot foul, obviously.
It was a 2-shot foul, and I'm glad it wasn't a 1-on-1. Hopefully he could knock down this second free throw.
Second free throw coming for Fidelis, the freshman from King Drew. And that's too strong off the back iron, so he missed them both. 39 apiece, defensive rebound to CSUB. Matadors and the Roadrunners are tied. Left side Perry for CSUB. They cycle it to Easter through Williams. Here's Williams straight away. Coming out on the right side, Perry into the right corner. Back left of center, now left wing to Easter for CSUB. Left corner, 10 to shoot. Edler Davis, the three-pointer falls.
That's the shot that he could hit. Matadors gave it up.
42-39, CSUB by 3. Both these teams burning the nets in the first half. Starks in front for CSUN. High post left side, back to the basket, Okereke. Turns and faces with a dribble. Nice flash by Brown. Quick touch. Anderson gets it off to Starks outside, and Starks is fouled by Czar Perry, so I believe it's 1-and-1 coming up for the Matadors. No, 2 shots coming up.
Yeah, because it's the 10th team foul.
Second foul on Perry, the 10th on the runners. Sorry, AZ.
Yeah, I tell you what, those missed free throws, though, by Okereke are huge. He missed 2, and then you come down and hit a 3-pointer. It's like a 5-point swing.
First free throw for TJ. Now, here's an intriguing question. You think Starks in the running for Player of the Year, or do the Matadors need to win more games?
No, the Matadors haven't won enough games for that. And when you have a player like McLaughlin, he's just Ja'Cory McLaughlin. He's got it hands down, I believe. His team has won 13 in a row at least, and he's second in the conference in scoring. So I don't think that anybody but TJ has it all wrapped up.
Well, here's the thing: is the Player of the Year for if J-Rock's the Player of the Year, okay, then why did he let Starks drop 29 and 24 on him?
Well, I mean, he didn't let Starks. They won both games by double digits. They
won both games. It's
right.
Like the year that they didn't give Lamine the Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. They gave it to Galloway. And you look at the stats now. Galloway blocked a couple of his shots, but he went into Galloway's house and dropped 33 and 18.
If I'm not mistaken, though, I think was that the year that Lamine was Freshman of the Year and Player of the Year.
He was everything except Defensive Player of the Year. Newcomer of the Year, Freshman of the Year, Player of the Year. He should have been Defensive Player of the Year, but he wasn't.
Starks should get Newcomer of the Year. If that's the case, if there's a Newcomer of the Year, it has to be T.J. Starks. Then that I would agree with.
Well, if the Matadors can run the table, though, I think maybe you turn some heads here. Because TJ, I don't know there's a better player in the conference.
I didn't say that anybody was better. I'm just talking about the record and why they would put Ja'Cory McLaughlin.
So he makes the second one, and it's 42-41. Matadors pulled to within a bucket. They're pulled within a point. Right to left, this is Williams. Sean Williams, Kansas State transfer. Angle right on the far side. This is Tajay Moore. Man, he's fun to watch. Moore all the way down underneath. Double clutch, puts it up. No, but a foul. He just goes right to that left baseline.
Yes, he does. And what you have to do is you have to sit on his left hand. Now, he got a screen that time that freed him up to get to his left. So someone's got to hedge hard when there's a screen so that Tajay Moore is not allowed to go left. Because if he goes left, he's hard to stop. Just like
Redshirt
TJ
senior
Starks.
from South Haven, Missouri, AZ. He had 5 surgeries in 634 days. He was hurt on February in 2017. Didn't come back till the 18-19 season, hence the red shirt. He had the tibia and the fibula, the lower leg, and he had a lot of trials and tribulations during that time. His grandmother passed away, and she kind of been his support, and one of his best friends back in Mississippi was murdered during that 634-day time, and he was close to quitting basketball. I bet you the Bakersfield community is glad that he didn't. Matadors basketball, they trail by 3. Starks off to Okereke in front. Hands it to DB2, 8 to shoot. Backdoor lob for Merkvaladze. Left-hand layup is good.
Another good pass that time by Darius Brown II.
44-43, Bakersfield by 1 with possession. Williams off to Moore, using the screen from Reedus, but now Starks goes over the screen and bumps him, and a foul on TJ Starks, only the 6th foul on the Matadors, though.
Yeah, and I believe that foul was going to get called no matter what, because Coach Barnes is upset that there were only 5 team fouls on the Matadors and 10 team fouls on the runners.
So Brendan Herrick checks back in. He'll replace TJ Starks, I believe, as Starks picks up his 2nd foul. So fresh 20 for the runners. Here's Williams in front about 35 feet out. Squared up by Anderson. Williams, here's Moore right side. Back to Williams in the right corner for 3. Yes.
My goodness gracious, they are just knocking down the 3-point shots as if they're practice shots, and that one was so wide open it really was a practice shot.
4-point lead for the runners. Matadors could have the last shot here in the first half. Front court right about 40 feet out is Brown, squared up by Sean Williams. Matadors looks like they'll just play for the last shot. So about a second differential between shot and game clock. Here comes the hedge. Brown kicks to the right corner. Herrick out of the corner for 3. Back iron, no. Defensive rebound, Reedus. Racing up the middle of the floor is Tajay Moore. He's going to go right to that left baseline. Okereke gets it on the way up. They're going to call a foul on Fidelis Okereke with half a second to play in the first half. How about that?
You know, we talked about my man, Brendan Herrick, and he had a 3-point look and not able to hit it, and that really hurt the Matadors. They need Brendan to make shots, and he had an open look. They passed it to him, and he's not able to hit it. Now there's a chance for the Matadors to be down by 5.
3rd foul on Brendan, 7th foul on the Matadors. Tajay Moore, the left-handed shooter, sinks the first free throw. And he's been so impressive tonight, AZ. Give him that one, 48-43. He's got 14 points on 5 of 6 shooting and make it 15. He's only played 13 minutes. And the Matadors trail by 6, 49-43. And that's how they'll go to the locker room. CSU 49, CSUN 43. We'll come back with Matadors halftime presented to you by Northridge Toyota. CSUN trailing this one by 6. This is Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
It's game time, Matador fans, and at Northridge Toyota, it's game on. With over 700 new, certified, and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, they're sure to have one that's just right for you. Come in and see why Northridge Toyota is the fastest growing Toyota dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care. Located on Nordoff across the street from the Northridge Mall, and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Go Matadors!
It's not just a haircut, it's an authentic experience with True Barbershop. Book your appointment now at TrueBarbershopInc.com. True Barbershop is committed to serving the community and have partnered with the Matadors to unite the Valley, one haircut at a time. With a team of 8 professional and qualified licensed barbers, True Barbershop can service all ages from kids to seniors to retired and military. True Barbershop is located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard in Northridge and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics.
Located at 19550 Nordoff, just across the street from the Northridge Mall. Northridge Toyota, the fastest growing dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care. proud supporters of CSUN Athletics, and with that, we'll bring you the Matadors halftime, which is brought to you by Northridge Toyota. CSUB, Allen, ends the first half on a 10-4 run. I shouldn't have made the Jack Benny joke because the comedy gods came back to get me, especially late. They got 2 late free throws on play by Tajay Moore. Moore has done everything for CSUB in the first half.
Yes, he has, and that's really hurt the Matadors. I just look at the shooting percentage, and neither team can continue to shoot the way that they're shooting in this first half. But Tajay Moore, it looks like whenever he has the ball, he's just a mismatch for whoever is guarding him. He's just a physically talented, athletic player. The Matadors don't have an answer for him, Gasol.
Yeah, everything looking pretty even. The rebounding, though, very much in the favor of CSUB. They have 14 rebounds to just 7 for CSUN. We'll start in now on the Matador stat report from Buffalo Wild Wings, located at 9301 Tampa Boulevard in Northridge. Buffalo Wild Wings, you can save time by ordering takeout on the website from their to-go favorites menu. The 20-20 and 15-15 wing combo still available for a limited time. If you're into that kind of thing, the Golden Globes tomorrow, order up some wings and watch what TV shows and which movies may have may have the inside track on either the Oscars or the Emmys. But Matadors here trail by 6. We'll go to the stats on the Bakersfield side. Ronnie Reedus, 4 points, 5 rebounds in 16 minutes. And he's been solid. They lost Sean Stith, and Reedus has really stepped up for them as kind of that tower of strength in the middle.
Yes, well, Reedus is their leading rebounder, so Stith might score a little bit more, but you're going to get some second chance opportunities with Reedus in there. He's going to rebound, and look, if he's underneath the basket, he's either going to get fouled or make a layup.
Sean Williams picking up right where he left off yesterday. 13 points, 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc in 17 minutes. Justin Edler-Davis, 9 points in 11 minutes, 3 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. He's got 4 rebounds as well. Justin McCall scoreless in 4 minutes. Czar Perry scoreless in 15 minutes, but he has dealt out 4 assists. DeMonte Buckingham in 7 minutes is 0 for 2 from the floor, has not scored. Cameron Bino Smith, Allen's favorite player, 6 minutes, did not score, got in a little foul trouble. We mentioned Tajay Moore already. 15 points for him, 5 of 6 from the floor, including a 3-point bucket, 4 of 4, including 2 late free throws in the first half. 15 points in 13 minutes for Tajay. And then Graylin Easter in 8 minutes. He is 3 of 4 from the floor, including 2 of 3 from downtown. He's got 8 points in 11 minutes, 2 assists as well for Graylin Easter, the junior transfer out of Little Rock.
I think Easter's points, his 8 points and being 2 of 3 from behind the arc, 3 of 4 from the field, he has just really helped this squad coming in off the bench and giving them a big, big boost.
17 of 28, 61% from the floor are the runners of Bakersfield. 8 of 15, 53% from beyond the arc. 7 of 8 from the free throw line. 14 rebounds, as we mentioned. 11 assists to just 5 turnovers in the first half for CSUB. We'll flip over to the Matadors stat lines. Darius Brown making a bounce back from yesterday. 18 minutes, 7 points, including 4 of 5 from the free throw line. But more importantly, 5 assists to 2 turnovers, which is actually beneath his average. But after yesterday, where he turned the ball over 6 times, you like that he's back dealing the ball to his teammates.
And the fact that he's got 7 points and he's aggressive, so he's had a chance to shoot 5 free throws, and he's made 4 of them. So, no, that's huge for the Matadors.
Amon Anderson, 5 points in the first half. They came early, 3 rebounds as well in 19 minutes. He got his start today for CSUN. TJ Starks, 17 minutes for him. He picked up a couple of early fouls. 6 points, most of them from the free throw line, but he does have 2 assists as well, 2 really good assists for the Matadors.
And the fact that now he's going to be able to play more minutes in the second half is going to really help the Matadors. So TJ doing a good job, dishing the ball out, got those fouls, but he's still trying to get others involved when he's in the game.
I think the most impressive number from Fidelis Okereke, AZ, is he stayed on the floor for 17 minutes in the first half. Didn't get into foul trouble. He actually has no fouls as of yet. 6 points, 2 of 2 from the floor, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He has 2 steals and 2 rebounds as well. A very good first half for the young man.
An excellent first half for the young man. So, look, he's being active around the glass on the offensive end, and wish he maybe made 3 or 4 free throws, but that's nitpicking.
Festus Andamandi with a bucket in his 3 minutes in the first half. Had a nice finish on a lob from Darius Brown. Brendan Herrick, 3 minutes in the first half, did not score. Took 1 shot. It was a 3-point basket. And 5 minutes in the first half for Atten Wright. Didn't score. 0 for 1 from the floor. He did have an assist in the first half. And then let's finish up with Alex Merkvaladze. we talked with Coach Gottfried after the Hawaii game, and he said, this team's growing up a little bit. Well, two of the guys who've really grown up are Amon Anderson and Alex Merkvaladze. And Alex, in the first half, 17 points, 7 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. He missed his only free throw, unfortunately, only has 1 rebound. But, man, he's really kept the Matadors in this game. CSUB hasn't been able to find an answer for him.
Exactly, and believe me, in the second half, they're going to locate him. So I would think that Alex is going to see some defensive pressure coming in the second half. But in the first half, he kept the Matadors in it by hitting those 3 three-pointers, 7 of 8 from the field. Look, the Matadors have given up 49 points in the first half, and you can't be happy with that. But they've scored 43, so they're right in the ball game.
Matadors 14 of 22, 64% from the floor, 5 of 10, 50% from beyond the arc, and 10 of 14, 71% from the free throw line. The 71% actually is below their season average. They're being out-rebounded, as I mentioned, 14-7, 10 assists and just 4 turnovers. You like to see that for CSUN. In the hustle categories, points off turnovers, the Matadors are a +2. Second chance points, CSUB is a +4. That was a real problem early on, and the Matadors corrected it, AZ.
Yes, but they're still giving up some offensive rebounds, and the reason why the Matadors aren't really getting more defensive rebounds is because the runners really aren't missing very many shots.
Go to the out-of-town scoreboard now, presented by True Barbershop, located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard, and at TrueBarbershopInc.com. Still accepting appointments through the website. They're owned by Matador alumni and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Go get your haircut at the True Barbershop. Say hi to David and Daniel. They'll probably ask you what the Matadors. Hey, how the Matadors doing? We have some finals from earlier today. Afternoon affair at Mott Athletic Center, and the Big West February closes out. UC Davis 68-66 over Cal Poly. Cal Poly had a chance to win at the buzzer. Mark Crow had a right-wing 3 that just misfired momentarily, and they dropped the game in overtime. Only 1 basket scored in overtime. That was by UC Davis.
If you told me that a team was only going to score 1 basket, whatever that team who scored that 1 basket, I would say they lost in overtime. But 1 basket or 1 free throw is all it would take.
Final from the Bren Center earlier today, UC Irvine 75-64 over UC San Diego. The Tritons gave them a little bit of the run, but late in the game, it was Dawson Baker and Christian Velp. They kind of carried the Matadors, carried the Anteaters over the finish line.
Yeah, at one point, I remember the Anteaters were down 12. The Tritons can shoot it, Gazal, but at some point, the three-pointers don't fall late in the game if you're getting pressured, and you know that the Anteaters are a good defensive team, and they're going to go inside to develop, and at some point you're just going to have to deal with the size.
Write down the date today. Write down February 27th, 2021, because tonight could be the night that Mikey Magpayo won the Big West Coach of the Year. SRC Arena, the game's on ESPN3, UC Riverside 34, UC Santa Barbara 20. So he came up with a game plan that held Santa Barbara to 20 points. We watched the Gauchos for 2 games, and they rang up 185 points. For him to hold that club to 20 points in the first half, let's give him the trophy right now.
Regardless of how this game ends, give him the trophy. To hold that high-scoring team, the Gauchos, to 20 points in the first half, that's just amazing. So Coach Magpayo has really done a wonderful job this year with the Highlanders. They're just a team that no one wants to face.
And we'll get to see them next week.
I know. We don't want to face them. I think you want to play good teams.
You
want to play good teams, and the Matadors are playing a good team tonight. So the Matadors, they're catching the good teams at the end of the season, which could be good for the tournament.
And then on the island, an early start on the island at the Stan Sheriff Center at the half. Long Beach State 38, Hawaii 31. The beach, they were missing a bunch of guys. They got everybody back, and now they've been playing together for a couple of weeks. They should have won. They lost narrowly last night, and they're taking care of business right now. And there's 20 minutes of basketball to go, but they're up 7 on Hawaii.
The beach, they're as talented as any team in the conference. They have some talented players, and all they're going to have to do right now is just learn each other all over again. And they've got tonight's game to do that, and then 2 next week.
49-43 is our score here at Icardo Center. CSUB up 6 on the Matadors. We'll come back and wrap up the halftime show presented to you by Northridge Toyota after this. Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
What happened to us? We used to gather in proud arenas. Now we're watching March Madness while stuck in work holes.
Loser.
Jerk. Or shoved in man caves. We've been left alone with a DVR replay while trying not to wake the baby. Enough! Let's make our Fanchesters proud and follow the tribe to B-Dubs so we can fill our beers, crush all the wings, and pound every single game. You want madness? That's March Madness. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
Husson back with you here at Icardo Center. The half, the Matadors trail this one 49-43. The Matadors 3-2 on Saturdays here in 2021, and they've only been swept once in Big West play. They split every other series except for the one at home against UC Santa Barbara. They close out next weekend at home against UC Riverside and then head to Vegas for the 2021 Big West tournament. Want to acknowledge our game day sponsor today, our good friends at the LA Daily News. Daily News, Valley-based local sports reporting. They've covered the Matadors for years, done a tremendous job, and over the years, many great journalists have worked for the LA Daily News. Joe Painter-Lopez to name one. Tom Hofarth wrote the media column for many years for the LA Daily News. And then guys like Evan Barnes, Tarek Fattal, who are doing a great job covering it. Well, Evan's now in Memphis, but Tarek is still kind of holding down the fort at the LA Daily News. 49-43 is our score here. CSU beat by 6 on CSUN. We'll step aside for one last break, and then Al and I will come back and also reset the second half for you from Icardo Center. Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home.
Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where they have 64 service bays to fix any problem.
Northridge Toyota, your neighborhood Toyota dealership.
Northridge Toyota is located at 19550 Nordoff and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics.
Welcome back at Icardo Center. I'm Ghazal. He's Allen. 49-43. CSU beat by 6. What does CSUN need to do? What is something you think they need to do in the second half to kind of maybe put themselves in a position to get a win tonight?
Well, they're going to have to contain Tajay Moore. They can't allow him just to have his way like he did in the first half. And then they've got to run shooters off the three-point line. I mean, 8 three-point shots have been made already in the first half. All of last game, 9 three-point shots were made by the runners. So the Matadors are going to have to run the runners off the three-point line.
Yeah, and that's really the difference in those 3 3-pointers, the difference in the game. Starting 5 looks like they're back out for CSUB. Williams on the floor, along with McCall, Reedus, Czar Perry, and Edler Davis. And the Matadors will start with the ball here in the second half. They're starting 5 back out there. Brown, Anderson, Starks, Merkvaladze, and Okereke. Rick Batzel will hand the ball to Amon Anderson. He'll trigger it in. 20 minutes on the game clock, 30 seconds on the shot clock. And the second half will be underway here from Icardo Center in Bakersfield. The nightcap of the 2-game weekend series against CSUB. Brown with the ball. He'll advance into the front court for CSUN. Matadors down 6 with possession. Right wing Anderson. In front between the circles here, Starks. Starks working against McCall. High post left side. Merkvaladze to his right, now back to his left. The left hand off the window, rolls around and rolls back down.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and he's been both tonight.
Yeah, he was both on that one. He was lucky and he was good. 49-45. Nice play out of the halftime break by the Matadors. Flashing at the free throw line is McCall for CSUB. Right wing Perry. Rita cycles it angle left. This is Williams into the lane. He's dispossessed by Amon Anderson. Anderson, middle of the floor. On the right side, he's backing off for the Matadors, who are down 4, 49-45. Darius with the ball on the right side, about 38 feet out, looking inside. Being guarded by Edler Davis. He'll lob to the right baseline for Fidelis Okereke. Okereke against Ritas. Kicks to the right wing, opposite for Starks. Starks is squared up right there by Williams. Starks into the lane, and he'll back off now. 8 seconds to shoot for the Matadors. TJ in front, 5 to shoot. TJ, 18-footer, left of the arc, yes.
Boy, he went to his right that time and cleared a little space. I thought they might call it offensive foul.
49-47. TJ's pretty cagey. I think he's seen enough other guys, AZ, use that arm bar without it being called. Top of the circle, catch and shoot, Edler Davis off the back iron, no. Defensive rebound to CSUN for Darius Brown. Starks left side. Starks into the paint, 1-on-3. Pump fake, trying to find the open man. The ball poked away, but he runs it down. Matadors with the basketball. Left wing faking the three is Merk Valadze against Ritas. Left corner, give and go action with Anderson. Here's the step back from Alex No. Flying in to tip it is Darius Brown, but there's nobody there. He knocks it off of a roadrunner, though,
yes,
and the Matadors will retain possession.
Yes, he did. That's a good hand by Darius Brown the second.
Andy Cohn right on top of the call, and the Matadors will have the basketball down 2, 49-47. Anderson into Starks. Starks with a pump fake, and man, they collapse on him like bees to honey, and Starks is denied by McCall out of bounds. They'll say it went off TJ. Ball goes over to CSUB.
Yeah, that's TJ. Last night he had 27 points. Tonight they understand everything that he wants to do, and they're sticking with him like glue.
Yeah, I mean, it's that old SEC pride, right? Coach Barnes and Coach Gottfried, and they know that TJ played in the SEC. They're not going to let him have their way with him a second night in a row.
Yeah, Coach Gottfried just told Starks, they said, hey, you know, they're looking at you. Pass the ball. He showed him, just give it up. You'll get it back.
49-47, CSUB with the lead and the ball. Czar Perry angle right. Waving to Williams. He'll move instead to the left side. Flashing at the free throw line is Edler Davis. Davis momentarily dispossessed, regains the basketball. Top of the circle to Perry. 10 to shoot for the runners. Nice hedge there by Merk Valadze. Right wing Edler Davis to his left of the free throw line. Dispossessed and a foul. Amon Anderson wanted to travel.
And Ahmad that time reached in and got him on the wrist. Edler Davis is really a good-sized young man. I mean, he's stocky.
6'5", 225. He could be not quite a tight end, maybe a outside linebacker or wide receiver.
Yeah, he's got some size on him.
Edler Davis to the free throw line. First foul on Anderson, and the first free throw for Edler Davis drops through. 81% free throw shooter coming in for his career. He shoots 79%. The career encompassing 120 games. Second free throw coming as the lead is 3 for CSUB. Right-handed free throw from Edler Davis. Nothing but net on that one. The lead back up to 4 for the runners. 51-47. Under 18 minutes to play in regulation. Matadors basketball. Right to left comes Darius Brown the second. He's met by Czar Perry at midcourt. Bounce pass into the high post on the right side. Back to the basket. Okereke hands it right back to Darius. Flashing. Top of the circle. 17-footer. Anderson too strong. Defensive rebound claimed by Tajay Moore, who's checked in for CSUB. Czar Perry left to right. Left corner. Bounce pass left baseline going into Ritas. Working against Okereke to his right. Little hook shot rolls in.
Yeah, 4 straight points that time by the runners. Good low post positioning.
53-47. Lead is back to 6. That's what it was at halftime for CSUB. Trying to get the ball to Darius Brown, being guarded by Tajay Moore. Moore maybe a little bit more aggressive than he needed to be. Andy Cohn blows the whistle. Instead, actually, the foul's on Czar Perry.
Well, the defense is definitely going to pick up from the runners, I would think. I think that Coach Barnes is upset that the Matadors scored 43 points in the first half. So I would think that the defense is going to really clamp down in the second half.
So Czar Perry leaves the game, replaced by Sean Williams, the 6'3 redshirt sophomore transfer from Kansas State. Inbound from Amon Anderson to Okereke, right back to Amon, who cycles back to the top of the circle. Right of center, Merk Valadze gets his pocket picked. Euro step off the back iron, no for Williams. The follow is also missed. Here's McCall underneath, extra pass, Edler Davis, left hand lays it up and in.
Yeah, that time the Matadors, the turnovers are hurting them. They're down 8.
Matadors scoreless over the last 2-12. The lead out to 8 for CSUB. 55-47 underneath Okereke, denied by Ritas Matadors retain possession.
I told you that Coach Barnes was going to talk about defense. He didn't like the fact that the Matadors scored so many points. Matadors going to have to run their offense and be patient. Don't rush yourself.
So since the Matadors trimmed it to a single bucket, a 6-0 run for the runners. Anderson lobs it into Brown to the right wing. Darius, little shimmy move, behind the back dribble, resets with TJ Starks on the right sideline. TJ in front against McCall. Left wing Anderson hands it right back to TJ. CSUN basketball. To his right on the dribble is Starks. Between the legs into the paint. Here's the step back from the right side. Yes, 15-footer drops through.
That's the shot that he can make in his sleep is all.
55-49. I know he's from Dallas, but that's kind of a Harden-esque play with the crossover. Right of center three from Edler Davis. Karam's out off the back iron. Look at racing to the free throw line to snatch the rebound away from a runner was Amon Anderson.
And Anderson looks like he's a little gimpy right now.
Starks front court left. Left-handed dribble, high post left side Okereke for CSUN. Trying to hand the ball back to Starks, but dispossessed. He has to run it down near midcourt. Swings it to the right side for Brown. Matador basketball, shot clock down to 10. They trail by 6. Into the low post. Okereke goes high for the jam. He's denied. He almost makes it again. It went back down through the window, through the hoop. And all the Matadors are saying they want it to count, but we'll at least get a foul. I'm sure they'll look at the video. 55-49, CSUB leads CSUN by 6. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag HelloHumanKindness.
Mid-Valley Dental Care is proud to be the official dental practice of CSUN Athletics. Doctors Casey and Terrence Lau have been listening, caring, and explaining for over 44 years. Just blocks from the CSUN campus at 8815 Reseda Boulevard, Mid-Valley Dental Care specializes in athletes' dental care, as well as cosmetic, orthodontia, oral surgery, and dental implants. Make your appointment today at midvalleydentalcare.com, official dental practice of CSUN Athletics.
$55-49 CSUB by 6. Matadors will have free throws coming up when we get back to action. Let me tell you something, AZ. Once Fidelis Okereke has a little more experience under his belt, he's going to be some kind of player. He and Alex Mekveladze will be some kind of high-low combo in the post for the Matadors. Now, keep in mind, Fidelis never really played organized basketball until he was a sophomore in high school. He was discovered in a gym class at King Drew High, and 4 years later, he's playing Division I NCAA basketball, and he's going to just continue to get better, Alan.
Most definitely, and he's with the right staff, someone who can teach him. You know, you've got Coach Jim Herrick, who loves teaching. He's going to get into Fidelis' ear and into his heart, into his mind, and make him better with each passing practice.
You know, Mark Godfrey told us the story. He was originally a soft commit to Coppin State in Baltimore, but he's got a big family here in Southern California. Wasn't sure he wanted to go all the way to the East Coast. He met Coach Gottfried on a Zoom call. It was between UC Irvine and CSUN, and, you know, Fidelis, a very good student, took 3 AP classes as senior, and he chose to come to the Matadors. And you know, if Big Russ wants you to come to his program, you're a serious player.
You're a serious player, and his upside is just phenomenal. And, you know, talking about being a good student, his family, they don't really watch the games very often. They might listen every once in a while, but for them, when they're talking to him, it's always about how are your grades. So he comes from a family that really cares about the academics. And this basketball thingy, as they might say, since he just got started with it, just helps pay for school, and that's what they love.
You know, and that's one of the unfortunate things, you know, with the pandemic, we don't travel with the team anymore. So normally by February, you kind of get to know these young men a little bit. We really haven't with the new guys this year. We really haven't been able to do that, unfortunately.
And you also get a chance to see the parents. You get a chance to see a lot more interaction with the various families. But this pandemic has cut a lot of things out.
So 2 shots coming up for Fidelis Okereke. The foul was on Justin Edler Davis, his second. the second foul on CSUB.
Huge free throws, Ghazal. I mean, he missed a couple the last time he was up there, and so he's got to be able to stop this run that the runners were on. I mean, they had gotten up by 8. Matador scored the last bucket. Now Matadors have a chance to score 4 in a row if he can make a couple of free throws.
Atten Wright checks in for CSUN, the freshman. And the first free throw short off the front rim for Okereke. Now has missed 3 in a row.
He just has to concentrate and not think about it. Right now, because he understands that he's missed. This one's going to probably be long because the first one was short.
Bends the knees, releases it. That's going to be short, right into Justin McCall's hands. So left to right comes CSUB. This is Williams off to Moore. Right wing Buckingham. Swing it around to the left side for McCall. Williams in front. Right corner Tajay Moore. 3 over Darius Brown. No, and a foul on DB2.
Oh, Tajay sold that. He didn't get fouled. He did not get fouled, and he sold it to the official by kicking his legs as if he was hit. He didn't get fouled, ladies and gentlemen, but it was a smart move.
Darius pleading his case to Kurt Walker, and he's saying it should be a flop because I didn't touch him.
Tajay Moore, he smiled at us, not at us, but he smiled in our direction because he realized he got away with one.
Makes the first free throw. He's 5 of 5 now is Moore with 16 points from the free throw line. Moore, the redshirt senior, South Haven, Mississippi. A lot of great players out of Mississippi. He hits the second one. Our old friend, played at Murrah High School, is Mo Williams, now the head coach at Alabama State. Of course, the great Chris Jackson, who's now Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf from Gulfport, Mississippi. Some pretty solid talent in the state of Mississippi. And then, of course, how about Rod Barnes?
Yep. Well, you know what? This is the second time that 2 free throws were missed by Okereke, and then 3 points were scored by the runners. Last time was a 3-pointer. This time is 3 free throws.
Could be a little bit of a makeup call here. Buckingham whistled on the impeded. Second foul on Buckingham, third foul on the runners. 15:06 to play in regulation. It's a 9-point lead for CSUB, 58-49. Wright gets it in left corner to Darius Brown, who fakes the 3, working against Williams, trying to dribble past him, but he regains the basketball. Now terminates his dribble. Needs some help. Swings it top of the circle for Okereke. Fidelis backs off on the dribble, hands it between the circles to Atten Wright, and another foul on Buckingham.
No,
illegal screen on Okereke. Wow.
That's just good defense right now. The Matadors are in a little bit of trouble, down 9, and the defensive pressure has really picked up. The Matadors in nearly, almost 6 minutes, well, let's just say 5 minutes and 8 seconds, they've only scored 6 points.
Okereke, they scored those early. So the tap has been shut off by the runners' defense. Matadors, one of their last 5 from the floor. They've been outscored about the last 3 minutes. Goes inside to Reedus, who lays it up and in.
The Matadors down 11 now. They're in deep, deep trouble, Ghazal.
5-0 run over the last 96 seconds. Stretched the lead out to 11, and Mark Gottfried calls timeout.
It's just the youth. Okereke turning the ball over, missing free throws. An offensive foul. It's just Matadors had gotten it to within 2 points, and then the defense just came to the forefront for the runners.
Keep it right here. We already used the break here. Matadors trail this one 60-49. And as I mentioned, the Matadors have only been swept once in Big West play this year. That was by UC Santa Barbara. It was at home. CSUB, as we talked about, very good at home. They're 9-1 on the season. And I think since they made the Icardo Center one of their home courts back in 2012, 90-30 in this facility, Alan.
They're comfortable here. They don't even have the fans, and they act as if fans are here. They don't care. They just, when they're home, they protect their house, so to speak.
Matadors down 11. They came out and they cut the lead to a single bucket, and then after that, since then, CSUB has outscored the Matadors 11-2. 19 for Merck Veladze, 10 for Starks, the 2 Matadors in double figures. 13 for Williams, 13 for Edler Davis, 18 for Tajay Moore. This CSUB team is going to be very interesting in the tournament, AZ, as what Mark Gottfried and I talked about yesterday. They're talented, they defend, and they're very experienced.
And they're deep. So what happens is in a tournament where, 3 days in a row, they will be fresher than most teams if they're able to get to a second and third day because they run so many guys in and out. And because they defend, you're going to be in an arena that you're not familiar with. so your shot's going to be a little bit off anyway, and they're going to make it more difficult because of their defense.
Little tidbit for you about Rod Barnes. So Rod Barnes' son Brandon is on his coaching staff. There are 5 other father-son NCAA coach, head coach, and assistant coach combinations. You care to guess at any of them?
No, I just want you to tell me. I love when you give me some information.
Okay, so at Auburn, Bruce Pearl.
Yep.
His son Steven's on the staff. At High Point, Tubby Smith. His son Gigi's on the staff.
I like that.
Houston, Kelvin Sampson. His son Kellen's on the staff.
I really like that.
Detroit Mercy, Mike Davis. His son Michael Jr.'s on the staff.
Wow.
And Davidson U, Bob McKillop's son Matt's on the staff.
I love it. I love when
Those
the
are the 6.
dads and sons can get a chance to work together and help young men get better in life.
And your daughter works with you, so you understand how that all works.
I do.
60-49. CSUB up by 11. Matadors basketball. Brown on the right sideline working against Williams. Veers to the left. Left corner Starks for CSUN, guarded by Justin McCall. To his right, here's the fadeaway from 14, and he buries it.
That's a tough shot and a nice shot. Now the Matadors just going to have to get some stops. Are they going to be in a zone or man-to-man?
60-51. Looks like a little matchup action going on here. Wide open top of the circle. Williams misfires. Offensive rebound underneath by, is that Buckingham? And a whistle.
Well, the Matadors didn't know what defense they were in, and they left Williams all alone, but they couldn't secure a defensive board.
So Akarike picks up his second. CSUB will retain possession. Brown, Starks right on the floor with Okereke and Merck Veladze. Left corner, Tajay Moore rises up. He leans into Okereke and picks up another foul.
Once again, Moore is drawing fouls just by the fact that he's able to extenuate his body and make it look as if he's being fouled. Smart, heady player.
So Moore back to the free throw line. His team up by 9. 60-51. Okereke, the 3rd foul on him, the 5th foul on the Matadors. Moore, first free throw, rattles down. Moore coming in, 82% free throw shooter for his career, 107 career games now. Actually under 70% for his career. This is the first year he shot more than 70%, has Tajay Moore. Dances on the front rim and he misfires. Defensive rebound for Festus Andamani, who checks in for Fidelis. 61-51, 10-point lead for CSUB. Left corner Starks inside the three-point arc. To his right on the dribble, left of the lane. Step back 15-footer is money.
I tell you what, that is a tough shot, and he just makes it as if it's not tough. It is a very difficult shot even to get to that location to shoot it.
Williams to the right corner for CSUB. Left corner Moore fakes the 3. He's guarded by Starks. Left of center, here's the lob to the high post, poked away by Darius. And the ball retrieved near midcourt by Sean Williams for CSUB. 10 to shoot for the runners. Here's Williams down the left side of the lane. Left corner, Tajay Moore working against Starks, and Starks picks his pocket. Starks up the right sideline, draws the foul on Sean Williams with 13:07 to play.
That was a very smart foul, Gazal. Stop the fast break.
First foul on Williams, 4th foul on the runners. Czar Perry back into the ball game for CSUB. Perry, another senior, 6'2" out of El Dorado, Arkansas. Darius Brown with the ball. The Matadors down 8, 61-53. A deflection and nearly a turnover. Matadors will retain possession.
The Matadors got away with that one. That ball was deflected, and it definitely could have been stolen. Trying to get the ball into Stark's hands.
In front, here's Starks. Drives, left hand, lays it up and in.
Yeah.
Starks picking up some steam.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting to his left just like Tajay Moore. And if he gets to his left, he's tough to stop.
Now the Matadors on a 6-1 run. Down underneath to the basket. Can't finish. Defensive rebound, Merck Veladze for CSUN. I believe that was Williams taking it to the hole. Right to left come the Matadors. Starks on the left side. Starks through the popcorn machine, knocked out of bounds. It goes off of Reedus. Matadors keep the basketball.
Yeah, it kind of grazed his calf. The ball was hit by Starks, but it did graze the calf of Reedus.
Substitution. Williams checks back in. Moore leaves the game.
They're going to get Moore a blow. It's an under 12-minute timeout coming up, and they just want to be able to give him a blow.
Here's Brown in front for CSUN. To his left, terminates his dribble in front. Bounce pass middle post left side. Here's Merkvaladze to his right, to his left. Got away with the travel. Little hook shot is good.
He sure did, but he made the hook shot, and the Matadors are back to within 4.
It's okay if you make the shot. That's the rule. 61-57. The Matadors now on a 6-0 run. They've held CSUB scoreless for the last 95 seconds. Quick run for the Matadors. Angle left on the far side. Czar Perry for CSUB working against Brown. Perry into the corner. Now here's Reedus, 18-footer. Yes.
Hey, that's a nice shot by the big man. Boy, that's a really nice shot.
The whistle and a break in the action. We'll get a break here. 11:46 to play in regulation. CSUB 63, CSUN 57. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Where's Northridge Toyota? It's where I come to get great deals on my favorite cars. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I get impeccable service with a smile. Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where I go to feel at home.
Where is Northridge Toyota? It's where they have 64 service bays to fix any problem.
Northridge Toyota, your neighborhood Toyota dealership.
Northridge Toyota is located at 19550 Nordoff and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics. Hey Matadors, the Sundial is here to keep you connected to all things CSUN. As the student-run campus news outlet, we aim to be the voice of you, the CSUN community. The Sundial publishes fresh content online daily and timeless, community-focused stories in print every Wednesday. Check us out on the web at dailysundial.com or follow us on Twitter at Daily Sundial and on Instagram at The Sundial.
.57. Matadors looking to close out the weekend with a victory. They're down 6, 11:46 to play. Little better situation than yesterday, though, AZ.
Yeah. At halftime, they were down 25, and they got it to 12 and felt real good about themselves, and then they just ran out of gas. They're in it now. 11:46 left in regulation, down 6, and if I'm not mistaken, the ball is going to be with the Matadors, isn't it? Or I don't know, but the Matadors are in this ball game. That's what's most important.
Matadors, 21 from Alex Merkvaladze already has registered a new career high for him. TJ Starks, who was held to single digits, had 6 points in the first half. He's now got 16 and efficiently 6 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 4 in double figures for CSUB. Tajay Moore with 19, Justin Edler-Davis and Sean Williams with 13, and Ronnie Reedus with that bucket now has 10.
Yeah, Reedus has really stepped up with the defense and scoring.
So Bino Smith on the floor with Sean Williams, Devontae Buckingham, Czar Perry, and Ronnie Reedus right now for CSUB. For the Matadors, Merkvaladze on Demania up front, Amon Anderson at and right in the backcourt along with TJ Starks. So a breather for Darius Brown II. Racing into the forecourt is Amon Anderson. It's poked away and nearly stolen. Bino Smith nearly took it away from the freshman.
Well, that's the trap as soon as it gets across half court after a timeout. And Darius Brown is not in the game, so the Matadors may struggle with this defense.
Matadors down 6 with the ball, 63-57. CSUN, high post, left side. Here's Starks. Starks, left hand to the basket, double clutch, over the rim, and yes!
And a little contact, too, I think.
Matadors now 8-0 run. They trim the lead to 4. Left side, Williams between the circles. Czar Perry for CSUB. Right side, Buckingham lobs it down inside for Reedus. Over his head, a little bit too high for him. And Reedus stands 6'9", AZ.
That time, Festus three-quarter fronted the Reedus, and the pass couldn't get directly to him.
So the Matadors hot from the floor. They're 6 of their last 7. As Anderson wheels in front off to Atten Wright between the rings. Wright had come in for Darius Brown II. Back to Anderson, high post, left side, on Demania, hands it right back to Amon. Anderson, top of the circle to his right. Right of the baseline, right of the lane, Merkvaladze's 15-footer, too strong back iron. Buckingham with the rebound for CSUB. Into the lane, Williams, cutting on the baseline is Czar Perry. Left corner, Bino Smith to the basket, returns it to Perry, who resets with Williams. Matadors down 4, CSUB basketball. Williams to the basket, blocked by Undamania, out of bounds over to CSUN.
Good defense that time by the Matadors. Excellent switching defense.
So Festus, again, we talked about him showing some energy, is Tajay Moore back in along with Graylin Easter. And they've both had the hot hand. Easter 8 points all in the first half. Tajay Moore leads CSUB with 19 points.
Well, back in the ball game is Darius Brown to help run the offense.
So Brown got a little breather as well. Darius on the floor with Amon Anderson, Atten Wright, Andamania, and Merk Veladze. TJ Starks takes his seat. Left baseline, here's Merk Veladze working underneath, to his left, to his right, double clutch, reverse layup denied by the underside of the backboard.
Yeah, he should have passed the ball out that time. The defenders were on him.
Pushing is Perry, right wing Easter. Left side Tajay Moore, man, he's been good tonight.
They got to take away his left hand.
Right side now Perry, outside right, reverses to Moore, front court left. Moore about 28 feet out, working on Anderson. Spins into the lane. That little extra pass, the mustard too much on it, out of bounds. Another turnover.
Yeah, that was a little mustard that really came off the hot dog, as Chick Hearn would have said. And
he was trying to get it to Czar Perry, so Bino Smith leaves the game. Edler Davis back in for CSUB, and now Justin McCall races to the scorer's table as well for the Runners. 63-59, CSUB by 4. CSUN basketball, we're under 10 minutes to play. Left wing, Atten Wright. Between the circles, here's Anderson. High post, right side. Festus Andamania turns, double pump against Reedus, and puts it in over the rim.
If you can get low post scoring from the Matador Bigs, that is huge.
63-61, Matador is bouncing back here on Saturday evening. Nearing 9 minutes to play in regulation. Czar Perry in front, waiting for the offense to move. Here's Tajay Moore, who's been tough tonight for the Matadors. To his left against Anderson, all the way left, offensive foul.
They took away his left that time. That's great defense by Anderson. He went left, but Anderson made sure that by the time he got there, help defense had already rotated.
Andamania draws the charge, so the second foul on Tajay Moore, the 5th on the Runners. So Reedus sits down for CSUB. Justin McCall back in. McCall, Edler Davis, Tajay Moore on the floor with Czar Perry and Graylin Easter for the Runners. Right wing, Anderson hands it right back to Darius. Right baseline, Merk Veladze for CSUN. Merk Veladze strong to the basket, denied by McCall. Offensive rebound, kind of throws it back over his shoulder, denied. Defensive rebound, Tajay Moore for CSUB. Czar Perry running the break off to McCall. Nice play by Festus Andamania. They're going to get him on a foul. No, they're going to say out of bounds.
Yeah, Moore stepped out of bounds. No, I'm sorry. Was that
Easter?
Easter. Yeah, Easter stepped out of bounds. Yeah, the ball was a good pass.
No, instead, I'm sorry, it was McCall.
McCall stepped out of bounds.
And Festus Andamania, we said it yesterday, he kind of looks like he has the bounce back in his step, AZ. He was dealing with some injuries, some illness, and this is the first time we've really seen the real Festus we saw last year.
And he scored underneath for the Matadors on a nice move, and that's a great break for the Matadors because they haven't been getting low post scoring.
63-61, the Matadors have shut down CSUB for the last 3 minutes. They're scoreless in 3 minutes. Brown in front for CSUN. Bounce pass to the right wing for the recently entered Brendan Herrick. Right wing now, Starks also back into the ball game. Starks to his left into the lane. The 14-footer, no, but a foul.
He's upset that shot didn't go. He was fouled, but he thought it was going to roll around the rim and fall in.
So 63-61, the Matadors trail by 2 when Czar Perry picks up the foul. 4 on Perry, so that could change the equation a little bit for CSUB. And the left-handed free throw goes down for TJ Starks. So Starks now 5 of 5 from the free throw line, has 19.
That's amazing. He can score it. I mean, he's been playing within the offense. You talked about efficiency, and I'm just amazed at his ability.
And swish on the second free throw, and the Matadors tie this game 63-63. CSUN now on a 6-0 run over the last 3:28. Williams in front. Here comes the high screen. To his left is Williams. Underneath, trying to lob it up, and that's a nice layup by Ronnie Reedus. Little pick and roll action.
Yeah, little pick and roll, and that time the Matadors got caught up in the screen.
65-63. Into the left corner, Graylin Easter, and they're going to call a charge on TJ Starks. Starks got the ball to Anderson, but then barreled over Graylin Easter.
Looked like he was inside the parabola. I disagree with that call, I think, is all.
8 minutes to play in regulation. CSUB 65, CSUN 63. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
Smell that? It's playoff season. You know how you can tell? Because the playoffs are on. East will meet West, sevens will be bested, and banners will be lifted. So get in your car, your boat, or your train and get to B-Dubs. To celebrate this special time of the year, curl up with some wings, warm up by the TV with your closest savages, and order a frosty beer just like Mom used to pour. Merry playoffs, everyone. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
CSUN Athletics would like to thank the Warner Center Marriott for their continued support. The newly re-energized Warner Center Marriott boasts nearly 500 rooms and a newly styled American restaurant. For room rates or reservations, call 818-887-4800. That's the Warner Center Marriott at 818-887-4800, supporting CSUN Matador Athletics.
Icardo Center in Bakersfield, California. 8 minutes to play in regulation. CSUB 65, CSUN 63. Alan, if I had told you when we arrived at the arena, hey, Alan, with 8 minutes, CSUB will be up by 2, you would have taken it, right?
Most definitely. And the Matadors shooting a blistering 60.5%, but 56.4% for the runner. So tonight is not a night for defense, at least when it comes to percentages, but the teams are playing hard. The Matadors, though, those 4 missed free throws and they were 4 in a row by Fidelis Okereke, may come back to haunt the Matadors.
21 for Merkvaladze, 20 for Starks on the CSUN side, 19 for Moore, 13 each for Edler Davis and Williams on the CSUB side. It's CSUB basketball. On the floor for the Matadors, Brown, Starks, Anderson, Herrick, and Undamania. Left to right comes Sean Williams for CSUB to the left side. Top of the circle, wide open 3, Edler Davis, and that's money.
That's just a nice play, and now the Matadors are down 5. So just a good offensive play run out of the timeout.
Brown met at midcourt by Sean Williams for CSUB. Darius veers to the left side, into the left corner for Starks. Rise up from 3, short to the left. Defensive rebound Williams for CSUB. Up the left sideline for the runners is Sean Williams. Williams, the K-State transfer, foul line extended, reverses to Edler Davis, met by Darius Brown. Davis trying to reset the ball with Williams, and now here's Starks out for CSUN. Matadors down 4, CSUB basketball. 67-63 in favor of CSUB. Williams down the right side of the lane, off the window, flings it up, and it drops through.
That was just a tough shot.
Herrick, long pass from Brown, gets it back to Starks on the left side. TJ. Right corner, Anderson rises up. The 3 goes.
That was a beautiful pass that time by Starks. He saw Anderson the entire way.
CSUB 69, CSUN 66. He's a great scorer, AZ. Starks doesn't get enough credit for his court vision.
Yeah,
left side, Williams.
You'll give it to him.
Edler Davis, long 3, back iron, no. Tapped around, tapped up by Starks, run down by Undamania, head to TJ, right sideline. TJ in transition, fakes the 3. Left corner, Anderson for 3. Yes!
He found him again, Gazal. Tie ball game.
Matadors tie the ball game at 69. 2 straight 3s by the young fella from Lusinger. Amon Anderson now in double figures with 11. 69 apiece as we near the 6-minute mark in regulation. Angle left on the far side, Sean Williams for CSUB. Top of the circle, working against Brown. Swings it to the left side, front court left, Graylin Easter for CSUB. Flashing at the free throw line, Edler Davis, right of the paint, rejected by Herrick. Ball loose, picked up by Graylin Easter, and he picks up the trash and lays it in.
Herrick blocked the shot but couldn't grab the ball.
71-69, CSUB by 2, CSUN basketball. Under 6 minutes remain in regulation. This has been a good one. Darius Brown directing traffic. On the left side, terminates his dribble. Bounce pass, high post, right side, Undamania for CSUN. Festus to his right on the dribble. He's dispossessed but regains it. Right wing Brown fakes the 3. Now to his left will launch the 3. Yes! No, he'll miss it, but a foul.
That time Reedus came out a little late and ran into Mr. Darius Brown the second.
That was the dribble. See, that was the extra dribble by Brown. Reedus, 6'9", 240, can't stop and start as readily as some of these other guys. So 3 free throws coming up for DB2 with 5:34 to play in regulation. CSUB 71, CSUN 69.
CSUN scored only 58 points last night, so their offense is definitely clicking. Defensively, neither team playing great, but like I said, it's an entertaining game.
Brown to the free throw line, and he sinks the first one. Darius was 1 of 2 his first trip to the free throw line, and then he got three foul shots, hit all 3, and so since that 1 of 2, he's now 5 of 5. 9 points for Brown. Matadors tie the game at 71. Herrick leaves the floor. McCall leaves the floor with Williams for CSUN. Tajay Moore back, along with Buckingham for CSUB. Buckingham 6'4", Tajay Moore 6'5". Third free throw, and the Matadors have the lead, 72-71.
It's about defense now, Gasol. The Matadors have to get stops and get defensive rebounds.
Their first lead since 5:08 of the first half. Moore to his right, off to Buckingham. Left side, Easter, who's been very good. He's in double figures with 10 points. Front court right, Tajay Moore calling Reedus for the screen. They keep him on the right side. He rises up from 15, way off. Merck Veladze and Festus fighting for the rebound and can't handle it out of bounds, and it'll stay with CSUB.
Both of them were there, and the coaches will accept that. They actually knocked it away from each other, trying to grab that defensive board.
Now, it was the shot was so far off that it didn't hit the rim, so just 6 seconds remain on the shot clock. Tajay Moore to trigger into the corner. Edler Davis with the fake. Double fake. He'll throw it up. Over the rim, no. Defensive rebound. Matadors can't get it. Justin McCall plucks it away from Darius Brown. So a fresh 20 for the runners. CSUN 72, CSUB 71. Front court left about 35 feet out is Tajay Moore. He'll gingerly dribble to his right. To his right, down the right side, reverse layup is good.
Yeah, that time he was able to get all the way to the rim. And you give a team 3 opportunities to score, they're going to score it.
73-72, CSUB by 1. CSUN basketball. Here's Brown in front. Lobbing for Andamania. Festus catches it, goes down, pump fake, and lays it up and in.
Oh, nice catch and nice finish.
Brown to Andamania. Matadors back in the lead, 74-73. We near the 4-minute mark in regulation. Moore working against Starks. Moore just to the left of the midcourt logo. That sweeping Roadrunner visage across midcourt here at Icardo Center. Front court left, Moore still on the dribble. Whips it into the right corner, catch and shoot 3. Yes!
They spaced the floor beautifully for that shot.
That was Edler Davis with the 3. Timeout, Rod Barnes with 4 minutes straight up remaining. CSUB takes the lead, 76-74. Back with more Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center.
At Dignity Health Northridge Hospital, patients recently participated in their own summer rehab games. Every 2 years, the Center for Rehabilitation Medicine holds an event for patients who are recovering from brain and spinal cord injuries. The games are designed to help patients achieve treatment goals, including balance, coordination, endurance, and social interaction. Patients heal and conquer goals in many ways. This event is just another way the center connects with patients on a human level. Share your acts of human kindness on social media using hashtag #HelloHumanKindness.
CSUN Matadors Athletics would like to thank Dr. Dominic Sisto and the LA Orthopedic Institute for their continued support. The LA Orthopedic Institute is one of California's most respected sports medicine practices with a philosophy rooted in faster rehabilitation and recovery. The LA Orthopedic Institute has offices in Sherman Oaks and Palmdale. For more information, go to laortho.org.
At the Matadome, AZ, I would say this is the Daniel LaRusso part of the game. I'm Ghazal Hassan. He's Alan Zinsmeister. Matadors basketball on the CSUN Sports Network, presented to you by Dignity Health, Northridge Hospital Medical Center. Bakersfield 76, CSUN 74. Justin Edler Davis just launched a 3, and Rod Barnes called timeout to talk it over with his team up by 2 4 minutes straight up remaining in this one.
Yeah, 10 offensive rebounds for the runners. I mean, and with those 10 offensive rebounds, they're just crushing the Matadors with a 13 points. So 13-4 in second chance points. But this is what the runners do to everyone. They actually average about just under 14 offensive boards a game.
Yeah, they're I think in the top 10. I believe they're 9th in the nation with those 13. I think 13.76 coming into the series. And what you don't like if you're a Matador fan, 10 offensive rebounds to CSUB to just 12 defensive rebounds, because those are all on the same opportunities. So the Matadors with a couple of substitutions. Brown and Stark stay out on the floor with Anderson. Merkvaladze back along with Okereke for CSUN. 76-74, CSUB leads it. Brown, left side for Starks. Starks against McCall, one dribble to his left, he'll rise up. No, but a foul on Justin McCall.
Yeah, McCall hit him right on the wrist, so a couple of free throws for Mr. Starks.
20 for Starks, came into the game in 80%, 80.4 to be exact, free throw percentage, and now I believe TJ Starks has played 17 games for the Matadors. This is either his 10th, I believe it's his 10th 20-point performance. And of the 7 games he didn't have 20, he had 18 twice and 19 once. And Starks drains the first free throw. What an addition he's been to this club, AZ.
You know, he's just come in and he's had to learn his new teammates, has to understand how important his role is, but also fit in. And he's been doing that lately.
And he's really improved his free throw shooting. As I mentioned, 80%. In his 2 years at Texas A&M, he was around 65, 66%. So you could tell he really worked on that. 76 apiece, CSUB basketball. McCall to Williams in front. Williams to his right off the Tajay Moore, who's been tough against the Matadors. Sean Williams to his right corner McCall for CSUB. McCall dispossessed, regains the basketball, and a whistle and a held ball. Held ball stays with the runners.
Yeah, actually, that's a break for the runners because that could have been called a travel as well.
So Williams to trigger. Williams, McCall, Reedus on the floor with Edler Davis, and Okereke takes it away. How about that? Like a defensive lineman, he tips the ball away, and the Matadors have a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, his back was to the pass, and he must have just read the eyes of the person he was guarding and was able to get a hand up and tip it.
And so Kurt Walker blows the whistle. The shot clock never started. When the Matadors got the turnover, they never started the shot clock, so they stopped play. Allows Czar Perry to return to the game. Perry, the 6'2 senior from El Dorado, Arkansas, replaces Sean Williams, who checks out. And now we've remedied the problem. Left corner, Starks for CSUN. Back to Brown between the rings. Darius veers to his right. Finds Merkvaladze on the baseline. Merkvaladze pump fake. McCall climbs his back. No foul there, but the foul on the shot.
Big free throws for young Alex Merkvaladze. Not a great free throw shooter, but it only matters what he does now, Ghazal.
Yeah, Merkvaladze, 62% on the season from the free throw line coming into the series. Yesterday, Alex was 1 for 2. So Alex tonight, 21 points, 9 of 14 from the floor. He's missed the only free throw he's attempted, though.
Knocked that one down. I thought it was going to be long when it left his hand, but it caught the back of the rim and went through the rim.
So the kid from Modesto Christian makes the first free throw to give the Matadors the lead. The foul on McCall was his second free throw. He made them both. 78-76 with 3 minutes to play in regulation. The Matadors with a 2-point lead. Sean Williams back in for CSUB. Williams, Tajay Moore, Perry, Edler Davis, and Reedus. I think this is their best lineup, AZ.
It's the most effective offensively.
Right corner, Moore working against Anderson. Scoop pass underneath. Extra pass from Reedus. Back to Reedus, left baseline. Left wing 3 coming from Edler Davis is short to the left side. Merkvaladze plucks away the defensive rebound for CSUN. So the Matadors with the lead and the ball. The shoe on the other foot. CSUB now has been held scoreless for about a minute and a half. The Matadors trailed this one by as many as 11 in the second half. Terminating his dribble, lobbing it. Nice pass there by Brown to Starks on the right side. Starks on the wing. 17-footer pulls the trigger. No. Rebound mucking for it in there. It's going to stay with CSUN. Darius Brown got a hand in there and knocked it off of Sean Williams.
That's the second time he's done that. He went flying from the top of the key trying to get a decent offensive rebound and caused that ball to go off the foot of a runner.
78-76, CSUN by 2. 2:11 remain in regulation. And Amon Anderson will trigger for the Matadors. So a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Anderson taps the basketball, looking to get it in. Gets it into Merk Veladze near the free throw line, right of the paint. Merk Veladze holding the ball high, asking for a teammate, and now gets it out to Okereke off to Starks. Starks left side to the rim, won't finish but draws the foul.
If they don't take away his left hand, he's going to score on you. They have to sit on Starks' left hand and force him to go right.
So if that's on Czar Perry, Perry is done. He is fouled out of the ball game. So Czar Perry will leave. Perry, although he only had 4 points, did a nice job orchestrating the offense, and he was solid defensively.
Excellent defensively, getting folks involved, having assists. He's there. He's the guy that runs their offense. So that helps the Matadors if he's not out there to help run the offense.
So it looks like we'll get, is that DeMonte? That's DeMonte Buckingham checks in. Buckingham, the transfer from Richmond. So Starks back to the free throw line. TJ eyes the rim. The left-handed free throw goes, and he's 9 for 9 from the free throw line.
Boy, I mean, and it's hard to do that, and he's got to be tired. So it's just clutch free throw shooting, clutch shooting, good defense.
Next free throw from TJ, and he's now 10 for 10 in the game. Matadors up by 4, 80-76. Moore back the other way. What an athletic play. He just sprints down and lays it in off the window.
That's just bad defense. You can't allow that to happen after a made free throw.
80-78, Matadors by 2. Under 2 minutes to play in regulation. Brown against Williams. Darius into the lane. Drops it off underneath for Okereke. Cycles it left corner. 3 for Anderson, and that is money.
Boy, that's 3 for 3 from the baseline for Anderson. He is really stepping up, this young fella.
You knew he could score, but the timing is what is impressive for the young freshman. 3 clutch shots when the Matadors needed it. Sometimes, as talented as these young guys are, the moment gets a little bit too big. I'll tell you what, tonight, no moment was too big for Amon Anderson.
Well, they started Amon Anderson tonight, and I think he paid the coaching staff off royally with his ability to. Was there a technical foul called? They need to put this in Starks' hand. What are they doing? Darius Brown is going to shoot him. Starks looked at Darius and said, "You go on and shoot it. I got confidence in you." A man who's not missed all night long.
83-78, Matadors by 5, and now Darius Brown will get a free throw on a technical foul. So
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
So yeah, CSUB, they say CSUB tech foul, and now Kurt Walker and Rick Batzel having a conversation.
I wish that they could come and tell us what happened.
Normally they'll go over to TV. Darius's first free throw dances in off the front rim. Oh, it's a double tech, I guess.
A double tech?
No, because he was pointing at Bakersfield, because I guess pointing at them to get the basketball. So the ball will go to CSUB. The tech is good from Darius Brown. 84-78, Matadors by 6, 97 seconds to play. The Matadors over the last 2.5 minutes, AZ, on a 10-2 run. Buckingham to the basket. Misses the short layup. Trying to save it in, he does. Look at Tajay Moore. Saves it in off of Amon Anderson, falling out of bounds.
And they're going to call a flopping on warning on Festus. Matadors have to get a defensive board. I mean, that would have really helped them, could they, if they were able to grab a defensive board. Second chance opportunities is what's been keeping this runner squad in the game.
84-78. CSUN by 6. Ball goes to CSUB. They'll lob it out to Edler Davis on the right side. In front, Williams. He'll back off on the dribble. 1:19 to play. Williams to the left wing. Williams, this is a 17-footer. Misfires to the left side. Defensive rebound, Merk Veladze immediately fouled by Buckingham. Free throws coming up on the other end with 1:08 to play.
And the clock was still running for a second. I don't know why. The second ran off, and so now 2 free throws for Merk Veladze. And young freshman made a couple the last time. Can he make 2 more?
Mark Gottfried made the comment last Saturday that you grew up a little bit. And I'll tell you what, tonight, Merk Veladze, Anderson really bore that out. I'll give Fidelis Okereke a little praise as well for how he played defensively.
Well, if he can make a free throw or 2, it'll be a 3-possession game, and that's why it's so important that he knocked down one of these free throws with 1:07 left in regulation. Plenty of time, Gazal.
Yeah.
Plenty of time with the 3-point makes. But you can get a chance to extend this 6-point lead with a couple of makes.
And I'll tell you what, this performance tonight is a great springboard for them going into playing UC Riverside, because UC Riverside is going to defend you exactly the way CSUB does. I don't know if they'll be as physical, but they're a pretty physical defensive team as well.
They won't be as physical, but they'll be a little better when it comes to scoring. But you don't have to worry about the type of just in-your-face defense that you get from this runner squad. The Matadors have really showed me something tonight, Gazal. They got down by double digits in the second half, and then they fought back. And after losing by 26 points last night, it didn't look like they could stay on the same court with the runners. But tonight, it wasn't about defense, it was about scoring, and the Matadors have scored 84 points.
With a young team, sometimes, and I'll say this to Coach Godfrey when we talked about the game, sometimes with a young team, coaches get frustrated, right, because they don't get it. But sometimes when a young team doesn't get it, it actually works to your advantage. They lost by 25 last night. They didn't realize they were supposed to lay down tonight.
Exactly.
And they woke up and it was just another day for them.
Well, here's a couple of free throws for Alex. And come on, young Alex, knock down a free throw or two and then play some defense.
The pride of Georgia, Alex Merck-Veladze, a new career high with every point. So make it 24 for Merck-Veladze, who's even 3 of 4 from the free throw line today. 24 points, 4 rebounds in 33 minutes, and he has been an offensive force for the Matadors. Second free throw coming short off the front rim, and the Matador lead is 7. Racing is Taze Moore, left to right for CSUB. Moore against Brown. Moore in front, terminates his dribble. To the left wing it goes. Attacking underneath is Williams. The reverse layup, spins down and falls. 85-80. Now it's going to be helter-skelter. Matadors up 5 with under a minute to play. Brown in the backcourt needs to get it ahead before they won't get a violation called. Nice job by Merck-Veladze. They get it inside to Festus from DB2, and he jams it home.
That's how you break a press to score. Now get a stop.
87-80. The Matadors by 7. 43 seconds to play. Angle left on the far side. Williams into the corner. Moore rises up. Skips over the rim. Offensive rebound by Buckingham. Now this time right wing Moore for 3, and that's money.
Yeah, the Matadors couldn't grab a defensive board. If they would have grabbed that defensive board, I think the game would have been over. Kent couldn't grab it.
A lot of these games in the Big West tonight coming down to the last couple of seconds. 31 and 4/10 seconds to play. CSUN 87, CSUB 83. Little bookkeeping, Allen. The possession arrow favors CSUN. CSUB already 10 fouls. 7th foul for CSUN. They have 6, so the next foul is the 7th. Matadors with 2 timeouts left. That was the last one for Rod Barnes.
Well, the Matadors are going to be at the free throw line. So it's either going to be in the hands of Starks or Darius Brown, I would think, because they're going to have to foul. The Roadrunners can't allow time to run off the clock.
So checking in is Graylin Easter. He's a 3-point ace, and he'll probably defend either Brown or Starks. He's got 10 points today. Taze Moore leads all scorers with 26. 18 for Edler Davis, 17 for Williams, 12 for Reedus. Matadors side 24 each for Starks and Merck-Veladze. Anderson with 14, Brown with 11.
The Matadors have really shown some toughness. I mean, we talk about the fact that normally they won't have 2 clunkers back-to-back, and that Darius Brown, with 6 turnovers yesterday, that we would expect that he'd come out and be the Darius Brown that we've come to know and depend on. But the fact that they're able to just come back and just shoot the lights out, I mean, and shooting the lights out once again are the runners. I mean, they're doing an excellent job. The Matador defense isn't bad. They're just making tough shots.
This is one of the better defensive teams in the league, and you're shooting 62% against them. 87-83. Merck-Veladze to inbound. He'll be guarded by Edler Davis. Alex looking inside. Now he'll call timeout. Matadors have 1 remaining. Now remember, it's a made basket, so he can run the baseline.
Yes, and that's what I think you have to tell the youngster. You can run the baseline.
So 31 and 4/10 seconds remain in regulation. The Matadors have 1 timeout now remaining. They lead by 4, 87-83.
They might want to put in Brendan Herrick, because he's really good at inbounding the ball, and he'll understand that he could run the baseline.
Reminder that Game Day sponsor today are good friends of the LA Daily News, covering local stories in the Valley in Los Angeles. Matadors lead this one by 4, 87-83. I'm Gazal, he's Allen. Thanks for joining us yet again.
It's about getting this ball inbounded and then making free throws. That's what it's about. No turnovers. You can't have a turnover.
Matadors in the second half, AZ, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. All 3 makes from Amon Anderson.
I mean, 3 in a row. He didn't miss one once he got going.
Merkvaladze, Andamanya, Anderson, Brown, and Starks on the floor for CSUN. Alex to inbound, gets it into Starks. TJ dribbling in the backcourt, up the right sideline to Brown. Brown races into the forecourt for the Matadors. Brown off to Starks, but before he can get it to him, DB2 is fouled with 24 seconds remaining.
Clutch free throws for DB2. Make them both DB2. 23.9 seconds left. Are they going to call that an intentional foul? They're going to take a look to see if that's going to be an intentional foul, maybe a flagrant foul.
We had a good crew today. I mean, the last 2 days, the 3 Batzel Walker and Andy Cohn are 3 pretty good officials that we see a lot.
Yeah,
we hadn't
solid.
seen Andy a lot this year, but Andy's one of the best guys in the Big West.
They just don't get caught up in anything other than calling the game the right way. And you can always live with an official who makes a call with conviction. Yes, they're going to miss some. They're going to miss some that you wish they didn't. But for the most part, they get them right, and they're fair. When I say fair, they're not just allowing a crowd or a coach that's yelling the most to make them to sway their calls.
I just like the way Andy calls a game, and he wants the players to decide the game. And when he's the lead official, generally he'll let them play a little bit, but he won't let a lot of egregious stuff go.
Exactly, and I still want to know what happened when Darius Brown got a chance to shoot that technical foul, because that was big. The Matadors had scored, and then they had a chance to make a free throw, and then Darius did. And going to the free throw line now will be Starks for sure, but maybe if the Matadors are awarded a flagrant, it may be free throws and the ball.
So 87-83, CSUN by 4 with 23 9/10 of a second remaining in regulation. The Matadors roaring back after they're down by 11 in the second half. They were down 60-49, and then they've come back and turned it around.
Festus Ndumanya has really stepped up tonight, Ghazal, with his energy and his effort, and
yeah, one of his best games he's had since coming back. 8 points, 4 of 4 from the field, but also just his energy on defense. Not a lot of rebound. I don't think he's got a rebound tonight.
Right, I don't think he has.
He has 2 rebounds, but I mean, had a blocked shot or an alter shot, and then just he drew a charge and had a dunk earlier. So his energy came back as the officials at midcourt, just beneath that Roadrunner visage, making a decision.
If they pull the coaches together, that usually means something happened. If nope, I guess it's just going to be a foul.
So the third foul on Buckingham.
Oh, wait a minute. I guess it had to be intentional.
So 2 shots coming up for DB2. First one is good, and the lead extends to 5. And looks like the Matadors are going to seal this one at the free throw line. It looks like they're going to get the ball back. Second free throw is good.
That's huge. And now they get a chance to get the ball, just get it in DB's hands and let him make more free throws.
So Darius now with 13 points, 7 assists tonight. Not a lot of rebounds when you're making all your shots. I mean, think about it this way. We talked all year about how good this team is defensively, AZ. And now the Tajay Moore fouls Starks in the backcourt, and the Matadors 62% from the floor against Bakersfield.
But, I mean, that's just phenomenal. They just ran their offense tonight, though, Ghazal. They weren't rushed, even with the pressure defense. They didn't turn the ball over nearly as much, and because they didn't turn it over and were able to get good shots, and Merkvaladze hit some three-pointers early that loosened him up, and free throws count as well.
CSU gave up 90 points against Cal State Fullerton. That was back on the 29th of January. That's the most points they've surrendered all year. The Matadors, as Starks makes the free throw, now lead 90-83. 18 8/10 of a second to play. Reedus leaves the ball game. So Easter back in, 3-point shooter for CSUB. Second free throw coming. And it bounces off the front rim. Left to right, racing up the right side is Tajay Moore. All the way to the basket, he lays it in with 13 7/10 of a second to play. Andamanya to inbound, nearly turns it over. Sean Williams dives over the back of Starks to knock it out of bounds.
Yeah, that was just the wrong person inbounding that ball.
90-85 after the bucket by Moore. 12 8/10 of a second to play in regulation. Merck-Veladze to trigger for CSUN. Merck-Veladze starts on the floor with Brown, Anderson, and Andamanya.
Yeah, Starks finally missed a free throw. I mean, what is he, 11 for 12?
11 for 12,
yeah.
Exactly. 25 points for TJ. And here's Alex to trigger. Deflected out of bounds. Edler Davis playing the inbounder. So he's got to inbound from the corner. He can't run the baseline now with 12 seconds to play. Long pass down the field to Starks and taken away from him by Tajay Moore. Maybe a little PI there. Moore weaving to the left side, deep NBA three. Off McCall underneath with a putback. He puts it up and in. It's a three-point game. Merck-Veladze releases it down the floor, and Anderson will just dribble it out. Actually, not before he's fouled. Buckingham gets there and fouls Anderson with a second and a half to play. 90-87, CSUN by 3.
All they have to do is make this free throw. Make this free throw and the game's over.
How clutch has this young man been, Amon Anderson, on the defensive side, on the offensive side? 14 points for Anderson, 5 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc, 3 dead-eye three-pointers here in the second half, and it rims out on the first free throw.
All right, make this one, big fella.
So Anderson, his first attempt, misfires from the free throw line. And if you're the Matadors, I don't know why you have anybody in the lane. You don't.
They don't.
They moved everybody back.
Anderson just needs to make this free throw so that it's all over.
Second free throw coming. And that one rims out. Three-quarter court heave off the backboard, and that's the game. The Matadors 90, CSUB 87. The young fellas made it interesting at the end, Alan,
yeah.
but come away with a win. What a great bounce back by the Matadors.
I mean, a marvelous bounce back. And they have to feel really good about themselves tonight, the way they stepped up and played a game like nobody's business. They really came out and played. I didn't think anybody would expect the Matadors to be able to come out and score 90 points against this squad.
CSUB is acknowledged as one of the better defensive teams in the league, and the Matadors not only scored 90 points, matching the most points they've had scored against them all season, and they shot 62% against them for the season.
And if a couple of more free throws could have been made at the end, it would have been different. I go back to the free throws. The ones that were made earlier were the most important ones. But it would have been nice to see Anderson, who made all those three-pointers, knock down just one of those two at the end.
We'll come back with Matadors postgame presented by Under Armour, the official outfitter of CSUN Athletics. Under Armour, built to make you better. Check GoMatadors.com for the latest in branded CSUN apparel.
It's game time, Matador fans, and at Northridge Toyota, it's game on. With over 700 new, certified, and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, they're sure to have one that's just right for you. Come in and see why Northridge Toyota is the fastest growing Toyota dealership in the San Fernando Valley. Northridge Toyota, big enough to count, small enough to care. Located on Nordoff across the street from the Northridge Mall, and proud supporters of CSUN Athletics. Go Matadors!
It's not just a haircut, it's an authentic experience with True Barbershop. Book your appointment now at TrueBarbershopInc.com. True Barbershop is committed to serving the community and have partnered with the Matadors to unite the Valley, one haircut at a time. With a team of 8 professional and qualified licensed barbers, True Barbershop can service all ages from kids to seniors to retired and military. True Barbershop is located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard in Northridge and is a proud supporter of CSUN Athletics.
Matadors post-game brought to you by Under Armour. We're back, Alan and I, and the Matadors win this one 90-87. We'll start with the stat report presented to you by Buffalo Wild Wings on the CSUB side. Ronnie Reedus, 12.6 rebounds in his 35 minutes, 5 of 6 from the floor. Sean Williams, another solid game for CSUB. 17 points in 32 minutes, 7 of 13 from the floor, including 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals for good measure. Justin Edler Davis, after struggling yesterday in 25 minutes, had 18 points, 6 of 16 from the floor, 5 rebounds as well for Edler Davis. The Matadors did a nice job on Justin McCall. He only had 1 bucket in 17 minutes, 4 rebounds, and a couple of blocks as well for him. Czar Perry fouled out in 24 minutes, did not score, but did manage to pile up 4 assists. DeMonte Buckingham didn't score as well in his 16 minutes, but grabbed 5 rebounds for the Runners. Cameron Bino Smith, Allen's favorite player, 10 minutes for him. He grabbed he dealt out a couple of assists, but did not score. And then off the bench, Graylin Easter, 16 minutes, 10 points. Talk about efficiency. 4 of 5 from the floor, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Had a rebound and a couple of assists as well. And Tajay Moore, 28 points for Moore, 25 minutes for him. So he was extremely efficient. The 28 points, a new career high for Tajay. 9 of 12 from the floor, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, hit a couple of threes, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He was just a handful for the Matadors tonight, AZ.
Yeah, he was just unstoppable, really. And, the Matadors were able to get away with allowing a man to have a career high who was unstoppable, but he couldn't score maybe that 31st or 32nd point.
32 of 58, 55% from the floor for CSUB, 10 of 23 from beyond the arc, 43.5%, and 13 of 15 from the free throw line, 86.7%. They did have 31 rebounds and 19 assists to 13 turnovers. So get this, Alan. Not only did the Matadors get a win against the best defensive team, one of the best defensive teams in the Big West, they did so when the other team shot 55% from the floor and 44% from the three-point line.
Exactly. I mean, last night they scored 84 points and won by 26. Tonight they score 87 and don't come away with a victory. The fact that they even shot better tonight, they shot 54.5% last night, 55% tonight, and they made 2 more three-point shots, 10-8. So the Matadors, there's no way you would have thought, if we had these numbers prior to the game, that the Matadors would be within 30 points of them.
As the great John Sterling often says, that's baseball, Susan. I mean, you just can't predict how a team's going to perform, on a lot of other factors. Jumping over to the Matadors side, Darius Brown II, he rebounded today. 38 minutes for Darius, 13 points, 10 of them came from the free throw line. He had 7 assists against 2 turnovers tonight after kind of having a little bit of a nightmarish night yesterday against this CSUB defense. How about Amon Anderson? 34 minutes and 14 points, 5 of 8 from the floor, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. But, man, how clutch was he, Alan? He also grabbed 4 rebounds.
It was his 4 rebounds that he grabbed, the deflections that he had, the fact that he had 3 three-pointers in a row from opposite baselines, and the teammates trusted him. It was T.J. Starks on 2 of those and Darius Brown, I believe, on another. They trusted the young man, and he delivered.
Fidelis Okereke, 26 minutes for him, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 steals. I thought he had a block, but I guess they didn't give him a block. They gave him a steal instead of a block. 2 of 3 from the floor. He's got to tighten up the free throw shooting. He was pretty good. He missed his last 4. He originally had hit 5 of his first 6 in Big West play, so I know he'll work on that. Welcome back, Festus Andemania. How about Festus? 14 points, AZ. 4 of 4 from the floor. I mean, 14 minutes, but 8 points, 4 of 4 from the floor.
And they were all big points, and he just gave them some energy. He gave them some toughness. Matadors, look, when they can get points out of the low post, get some rebounds out of the low post, they're going to always be in games.
Brendan Herrick scoreless in 6 minutes. He did have a block shot. Atten Wright scoreless in 12 minutes. He did deal out a couple of assists. But how about the 2 big guys tonight? We'll start with T.J. Starks, because it's just, T.J. just does what he does. 36 minutes, 25 points, but efficiency. 13 shot attempts, which means he went 11 of 12 from the free throw line, and he dealt out 4 assists as well for the Matadors.
And those 4 assists, 2 of them, as I mentioned, to the youngster Anderson, they were so huge. The fact that he found him, trusted him, and when he plays within the offense, I'm talking about T.J. Starks now, and doesn't just have to take over a ball game just by scoring, the Matadors are going to be so tough to beat because everyone gets involved when he's moving the ball around.
And then Alex Merkvaladze carried the Matadors in the first half, and then he had some big buckets in the second half. 24 points for him in 34 minutes, 9 of 14 from the floor, 3 of 4 from three-point distance, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 4 assists for him as well, or 4 rebounds for him as well, but he made the clutch free throws, AZ.
Right, he made some clutch free throws when they really needed it, and the fact in the first half, as you mentioned, it was Merkvaladze that was keeping the Matadors in it with those 3-point makes.
Yeah, so, and then, he showed some low post prominence as well, and the Matadors ultimately ended up shooting 62% for the game, 28 of 45, 62.2%, 8 of 14 from beyond the arc, and 26 of 36. I know you wanted them to be better from the free throw line, but they made a good amount of their free throws, AZ.
They did. I always talk about you have to make a minimum of 70%, otherwise you can't win. They made 72% tonight, and that was the difference in the ball game.
And joining us momentarily to kind of cap off this great win for the Matadors is head coach Mark Godfrey, joining us on the post-game show brought to you by Under Armour, and we'll dial up Coach momentarily. Coach Gottfried, first of all, welcome to the post-game show here. And for the Matadors, first of all, great win for you guys, obviously. I want to read some numbers to you. You scored 90 points against the best defensive team in the league and shot 62%. I think that says it all right there.
Well, I was really proud of our guys, and I think what happened on that is we really shared the ball tonight. You know, we really passed it well, I thought, and we had balanced scoring. Alex in the first half was terrific. Everybody stepped up and made plays, and Mond Anderson late in the game, the 4 threes he had I thought were terrific. And then there was a point where I thought TJ, you know, we went to him and he just took over a little bit. But we shared the ball, we played together, and they're good. That's a good basketball team. That's a veteran, we talked about it, older, bigger, stronger team, and our guys stepped up, I thought, did a heck of a job. So they need to feel good about this one.
When we talked last Saturday, Coach, you mentioned that, hey, these guys grew up a little bit, and I think you saw the fruits of that with Amon tonight. Not just the scoring, but, man, those last 3 threes he hit, Coach, they were hit at times when you absolutely needed them. And then Alex, you know, and I know you guys have thought very highly of Alex since he came in. He carried you guys in the first half.
He really did a nice job, and let's not forget they're both freshmen.
Yeah.
They're both freshmen, and Fidelis was in there, and anyway, a lot of young guys made a lot of really nice plays, and I thought Amon's 4s in the second half, or his 3, they were terrific, just terrific.
You know, Coach, I don't get either of us in trouble with the NCAA, but I look at TJ, and all I can think of is that guy is the consummate professional. When he, and you mentioned it, when he plays within the context of your guys' offense, your offense is better, and I think he's better. He scored his normal 25 or whatever, but he was so efficient, 25 points on 13 shots tonight.
Well, and what happens is when he gives it up, and, you know, there are times where he feels so confident that he can score on anybody, but when he gives it up and finds other players, it eventually comes back to him because now, you know, the defense has to worry about other people. He made a couple great passes, I thought, to Amon for some shots, and, you know, he can get to the basket, and he puts a lot of pressure on you. But, you know, I think when he passes it and they all pass the ball, and we did a lot of that tonight, we're a lot better team offensively.
Coach, you know, you're talking amongst friends here, Ghazal and I, and tell us, Coach, I mean, look, there was no way in the world that if somebody told you that the Matadors would give up 55% shooting from the floor, they'd give up 87 points in the game, that the Matadors would win because, once again, the offense that you always talk about comes through. So, really, is that how you had it planned, Coach? Hey, tonight, don't worry about defense. Really, we're just going to outscore them.
Well, we're trying to defend. We're just sometimes we make a lot of mental errors, and we have to overcome that sometimes. And sometimes you got so many young guys on the floor together. They're just things that happen where you just say, you know, it's a mental error, another mental error. But they're going to get better. They're going to keep improving and get better. But, you know, we were able to score the ball. I thought, you know, Alex's first half scoring was huge, kept us in it. TJ wasn't scoring a lot, which was okay because our team was scoring, even without him doing all the scoring early in the game. But we're a much better team when we share it. And I like their team. I think Rod's got a nice team. That's an old, quick, athletic, rebounding, defensive-type team. So, again, I think it's a really nice win for our group.
Well, last thing from me, Coach. You know, Amon Anderson, look, he's been over there for a long time. I know he was hurt a little earlier, but what went into the thought process of you guys starting him and then him rewarding the coaching staff and himself for the game he played tonight?
Well, my thought process is we need some more rebounding. And, you know, we've got Alex and Fidelis starting the game in there. We had started and we just end up being real small, except against this team. You know, this team really rebounds the ball well. And, you know, we thought that Amon, even though he's not the biggest, strongest guy, he does find a way to get some rebounds here and there. And, you know, it enables us, like in our zone, to put Darius and TJ back at the top. Darius doesn't have to play down around the basket as much. And we're small, but, you know, I just thought, you know, Amon's going to give us a little bit more. We need them all. We need every guy. But he really stepped up tonight and was terrific.
And last thing for me, Coach, as good as Alex was, what a boost between Fidelis and Festus. You know, 14 and 4 in 40 minutes, that 5 position. You finally got a little bit of energy and a little bit of a boost with front court scoring, which you and I have talked about. It's nice to see, you know, Fidelis kind of figuring it out as he goes forward. And then Festus, the last 2 games, as we talked about last night, I think you finally see the energy we saw from him last season.
Well, and that's what we got to have from him. He had great energy, enthusiasm. He played really hard. He took some charges. I mean, he really did a nice job in there, did some things well. But just like you mentioned, we've had a lot of games where we're not getting a lot of points out of our forwards, the big guys around the basket. And tonight we're able to do it, and it changes things for us. It takes pressure off of the guards to try to get every basket when we can go inside and get some buckets from these guys. And I thought tonight they did it, and really helped our team.
And then I know I said last question, but I'll ask you one more here, Coach. I apologize. From a scouting standpoint, how much does having played these two games against the way that CSUB plays defense, is that going to help you next week? Because UCR kind of does some similar things to what Bakersfield does.
Well, I think for our team, every game we play, every time we have a weekend, it helps our young guys get better. It's one thing we keep talking about amongst our coaches is that, our record isn't where we'd like it to be, but these young guys are getting a great deal of experience. It's only going to help them for the future. They're going to get better. And games like tonight give our team great confidence because I think our players have a lot of respect for Bakersfield's team and their players. So we got one more weekend before the tournament. Hopefully we can come out and play really well and see what happens.
That's head coach Mark Godfrey joining us on the postgame. Thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Mark Godfrey joining us on the postgame show, and I think he echoed what we've talked about, Alan, in that this is a young team kind of learning who they are, and they're growing up a little bit every weekend. And obviously, you can learn as much in wins as you can in losses. They learned some stuff in a bad loss yesterday, and they applied it and got the W tonight.
They're learning with each lesson, and the thing that I like most about it is they don't repeat bad mistakes. Once they learn something, once they understand something, they may lose another time, but it'll be different than the time before. And look, them coming back from 20-plus points down and beating Hawaii was huge. And then the fact that they came back when they were down 28 on Friday night to cut it to 12 against a very, very solid Roadrunner squad was important to them. But tonight, to be down by 11 in the second half against a very good team that wanted this win, to come back and win, and then really, other than the fact that there was some concession buckets towards the end, this was probably a 6 to 7 point win for this young team. So they're learning, as Coach said, but I love the fact that they don't quit, Gazal. They won't quit. They may not have as much talent or size or athleticism as some teams, but the dog in the fight is fighting.
Out of Town Scoreboard is next, brought to you by True Barbershop. True Barbershop located at 9229 Reseda Boulevard and at TrueBarbershopInc.com. They're still accepting appointments through their website. They're owned and run by Matador alums who support CSUN Athletics. Earlier today, 2 finals overtime at Mott Athletic Center. 68-66, UC Davis takes that win over Cal Poly. And then at the Bren Center, UC Irvine took care of business against UC San Diego. 19 points, 12 rebounds from Colin Velp. They won 75-64. We'll go back to the SRC Arena. So UC Riverside splits that series against UC Santa Barbara 68-52. And talk about out of the frying pan into the fire. Matadors welcome UC Riverside next week at the Matador.
Yeah, and UC Riverside now with that big win is playing very, very well. And with the loss tonight by the Roadrunners, I think UCR's is eyeing second or third place. So they're going to really come in next Friday and Saturday needing to get wins.
And another close game at Stan Sheriff Center. It was a 2-point game yesterday. Today, Hawaii wins a 3-point affair, 79-76 over Long Beach State. Michael Carter III with 20 points for the Beach. James Jean Marie, a double-double, 20 points and 12 rebounds for the Bows.
How about Hawaii? I mean, they lost a heartbreaker. Well, not a heartbreaker, just a tough loss to the Matadors when they were up so big. But the Matadors got back in that game in the first half. But to go home against a rested, talented Long Beach State team and to get a sweep, that's huge.
When you win the sweep with 2 close games, it's always much more impressive. So to update the standings for you right now, heading into next week, which is the final week of competition in the Big West, up top, the Gauchos now 11-3, UC Irvine at 8-4. How about UC Davis at 5-3? Then UC Riverside at 7-5. CSUB with the loss today drops to 9-7. The Warriors of Hawaii, a game behind them at 8-8. Then it's CSUN and Cal State Fullerton, both at 5-7. Long Beach State at 4-6, and then Cal Poly at 1-13. So, not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, you want to split next week for sure, but if you can steal a couple of wins against UCR and finish 7-7, kind of changes the entire equation.
Right. I mean, and that's what the Matadors want to do. I don't think they care who they're going to play on that Tuesday, because they're going to be playing Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to care, but you want to go into the tournament on a winning streak if you can.
All right, Alan, time now for the players of the game presented by Under Armour, the official outfitter of CSUN Athletics. Under Armour, built to make you better. First, for the runners of CSUB, I think I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah, this is the easy one. Tajay Moore. Tajay with 28 points, 9 of 12 from the field, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He just played a heck of a ball game. He was really unstoppable, but the Matadors did everything they could. And fortunately for the Matadors, he had 28, but he didn't have 32.
You can go a couple of different ways for CSUN. I'm curious to see who you're going to pick, AZ.
You know what? This is a youngster. It's going to be Alex Merck-Veladze.
Okay.
Because the Matadors could have been out of it in the first half if not for those 3-point makes. And then, of course, down the stretch, he had 2 clutch free throws. So he has a new career high. He was able to get in that ball game and grab 4 rebounds and had an assist and 24 points, 9 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from behind the arc. Nope, young Alex is the player of the game.
So Tajay Moore for Bakersfield and Alex Merck-Veladze for CSUN, your Under Armour players of the game tonight. The Matadors win this one 90-87. Before we sign off, I want to thank several people. Of course, I want to thank the great Nick Bocanegra, who is our sports information ace for CSUN Matadors Athletics, and of course Isaac Camelli helping us out. He's the same, the SID for CSUB. Men's basketball doing a great job getting us situated and then getting us all the information we need. Actually made an extra trip for us before the game. I wanted to let him know that we appreciate that. And then, of course, our general manager. I talked to Will today. We had a little issue that I needed to handle it. And, of course, Will was right there for us. The great Will Carter back at our offices in Northridge, CSUN Matador Sports Properties, and Learfield-IMG College.
He doesn't even know that he's so great, Ghazal, because usually he's watching us on television, and so they cut off the post game, and he has no idea that he's great. So keep calling him great. Maybe
listen, Will's a man about town. So as soon as this game's over, he's going to socialize. Well, I guess maybe not now.
No, he's not. So he's grinding, working, trying to get folks to come and understand why they should advertise with the Matadors.
So next time we're on the air with you, we'll come to you. It's a 3:50 pregame, 4 o'clock tip next Friday at home against UC Riverside. What do you think, Alan?
It's going to be fun. I mean, look, the Matadors, with each and every game, they learn more about themselves, and they get better from it. I expect that after this next weekend, they're going to be primed and ready to do well in the tournament.
All right, so, folks, the final score tonight, CSUN 90, CSUB 87. So tune in on Friday when the Matadors, their next broadcast will be against UC Riverside. For the great Alan Zinsmeister, my name is Ghazal Hassan. We'll talk to you on Friday. We'll talk to you on Friday from the Matadome. So long, everybody. Good night, Lou. Good night, Arthur.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield-IMG College under broadcasting rights granted by CSUN. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of CSUN and Learfield-IMG College. Announcers are provided by Learfield-IMG College and approved by CSUN.